Hi, everyone. Happy Saturday. My last mic-related memory was him in a New Year video get-up, so he's like 50 to me now. Yeah. That's fine. You can think of me as an old man. I don't mind. Anyway, so I don't know how long this stream is going to be or how in-depth I'm going to get, but, like, I've wanted to have just, like, a some kind of record of me showing off the fun After Effects things I've learned in the last handful of years. Some of which you're seeing right now on your screen. We can go over that. What should we do for... Oh, actually, fucking Twitch.tv has a poll function. Let me use that. Okay. What did I want to show? So there's the gnome... There's the gnome tunnel from Wayne's gnome video. There's the, wiggle expressions are very good. Very powerful tool. That is true. Kingdom. Wayne. Kingdom Hearts. Waves. It can't fit characters. Okay, Wayne Kingdom Hearts is the wave stream. Or this BRB screen. What else? We'll start with those three. Now you can vote to see what you want to see first. It's not very stormy today. It's been incredibly windy the last couple of days, and it's raining on and off. I heard some crazy thunder a bit ago. shouldn't disturb us. You might be able to hear it, though. Oh. That might be coming through. Maybe. Oh, that shit's still going. Damn, that's crazy. Okay, looks like the BRB looks like this current BRB screen has won. So let's crack that open. Let me find it. Where is it? Did I put it in here? No. Maybe here? Oh. Now, where did I put the dang thing? That's a good question. Oh, here it is. All of my Premiere files are very well organized, but all of my After Effects files are not. This one does have a lot of moving parts. Okay, I'm going to stop this. Music. I'm going to open up the same playlist of music in VLC so I can control it better. Where is it? Here. 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 Nope. Here. Play. Yeah! Okay. Oh, you can't hear that. Hang on. Let me restart it. No. No! God darn it. There we go. Okay. Now we move from this screen to the same thing. So this is, so I have this in 2 chunks. So, first of all, hopefully this is a good enough resolution for you to see everything. This is the number of things that are in this project. That's second part. Here's the first part. So, let's see what to talk about first. There's probably a better way to handle the sequential elements to this, but this is how I've done it. So the caution bars are just a little scrolling thing on their own. What am I doing? Fit. I made them their own comp so that I could go and change this text, which I think I will whenever I update this screen, because I want to make this like the BRB screen too. So like, rather than starting soon, it'll be like be right back or hang on a minute or something like that. Toffee, I animated this Toffee in AE Sprite. He's just a little image sequence. He's right there. The shadow. What is the shadow he's standing on? It like spins. Oh, my resolution's gonna be super bad. But where is that? Okay, there it is. Is this a comp? No, this isn't a comp. Why is it? Oh, it probably has a bunch of effects on it. Let's find out. Oh, wow, I did a lot of stuff. This is also kind of a fun stream because, like, I don't remember what I did for a lot of parts, so I'd have to, like, open it up and look at it. So this shadow is, it's an image being rendered in real time, so it's this. It's a bowling alley carpet, with some hue effects, turned into a ball, and then formed into that, and the ball is spinning. I probably, realistically speaking, should have made this a image sequence and just dropped it in there so it would take up less rendering power, but that's what I did. I think the other shadow is the same thing. I don't... Yes, it also spins. So it's the same thing, except I think I just made it one tone. And now it is editable. You're right. That is true. I think all these first ones are pretty straightforward. I used, like, this is a different bowling alley carpet that has, like, a wave filter on it. Kind of... Hang on, let me switch back to this. See, you can see it kind of like waves. It's got, like, a nice little wiggle to it. Peter Chair just floats. There's nothing special about him. All these first ones had kind of straightforward battle backs, I remember. Oh, that was fun. That, I think, is my good friend CC Lens, if I remember correctly. That kind of, yeah. Okay, so that effect, it's a good one. It's, I think the idea of it is, let me just make a new comp so I can show. Teeth. Teeth, 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 teeth. New comp. Where's my good friend the wizard? It's him, the wizard. So CC Lens, it's meant to add, like, kind of like a lens distortion effect. But I learned this when I was making one of my Wayne animated things that, like... So it does this kind of, like, neat effect, but, like, I like using it as, like, a teleporting animation, like a... What does Convergence do? Ooh, that's also fun. See, this is the thing with After Effects. This is why you can use After Effects pretty well, even if you're a beginner. You can just, like, look through effects and drag them up and, like, pull sliders around and be like, oh, that looks sick. Keyframe them, and then they do something crazy, and it's like, oh, that's cool. So, like, half of these effects are things that I was like, oh, shit, that's cool, and then just did. Or, like, looked up a tutorial and someone's like, do this, and I was like, oh, shit. Things are about to get bulbous. So there's Wizard. The battle back. What is this battle back? I think this is a sphere. All the battle backs are their own comps, so I can find that pretty easily. Ah, look at that nice keyframe. So this is a, oh yeah, this is cool. I actually really like this one. This is, yeah, it's Reptile and Sphere. So it's basically, this is actually literally, I think, like, ooh. What was that noise? That might have been a helicopter. Anyway, I think, like, a good, like, half of these first ones are actually just Earthbound battle backs that I just got off Spriter's resource. And I just did funny stuff with them. Like, this one is, the effect mapped onto a CC Sphere. CC Sphere is kind of a weird one. You can do some cool stuff with it, but it's not actually like a total 3D object. But if you move the sphere around, you can get cool effects like this. And then I did some color trickery to make it kind of orbit in a strange way. I like that one, now that I'm looking at it. Worm on a string. I love Worm on a string. Where are you? This was a lot of Photoshop to get him looking like this. A lot of, I don't even know what I did, like mesh warping for this kind of like slight movement. I basically, like, this is just like a Photoshop mess that I made in like separate chunks. It's like, da 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 da, yeah. And I guess they all have, yeah, they just have like random transformation. Skew, that's what I used. Okay. That makes sense. And this battle back, this is the battle back for fighting Kefka in FF6. I also turned it on, I also made it a sphere. Right? Yes. Let's see. that's just the Kefka battle back from FF6. Then I made it kind of spin around, and I made this kind of like a ring of clouds. I think this is also from FF6. It might also be from the Kefka battle. I don't remember. I think all these are from FF6. So I made ball that rotates, and then I also mapped these to, I think I mapped them to a ball. That makes sense. Yes, I did the same thing. So now they're just kind of like, you can see how they sort of spin in various orbits to kind of give the impression of like a broad sky above. Not sure if I like the color I ended up with this. Did I change the color, or is that just... I feel like I changed the color. Yes, I did. What was it before? Oh, actually, no, I do like that much better. It's got those muted SNES colors. Who's after that? The Borcerer! These sprites are... The background is sprites from a game, I don't remember, but I just kind of parallaxed them and made them scroll in a fun way. The Borcerer, I just put a hat on a boar and made him jump around and flip. And he does a little poof when he appears. Poof. Oh yeah, there is an Earthbound background generator. I did see that. It exports in kind of a... I don't remember exactly what, but it exports in kind of a weird format that makes it not suitable for what I'm using it for. But it is good. Who's after this? Ah! Profaned Archdemon. So this one, I actually had to get a little tricky with this one because... what did I do? So, like... How do I zoom in? There we go. So also, you'll notice that the shadow kind of moves between enemies to get ready for the next one. I had to do something really weird for this, and I don't remember what it was. This is... Oh, right. Okay, so that doesn't line up perfectly. I actually never noticed that it doesn't line up perfectly. So I have the, this is a, After Effects thing. I don't remember what it is. Oh, it's just called Shatter. That's like, if you look up YouTube intro After Effects tutorial, you'll probably find something like this. It just blows up. It's very straightforward. Let me see. How does it work? Yeah, you apply like forces and shapes and stuff like that. It's all really fun and malleable. You can do a lot with it. Actually, what I should do... Move this around. Right? Yeah, okay. Sorry. So that explodes, and Profaned Archdemon is behind it. I did this, like, cross thing because, like, I realized, like, oh, if I put the shatter effect on top of this, it'll cover the shadow. So I had to make a second shadow to go over it to quickly get opacity'd out, revealing the true one. And there's Profaned Archdemon, my favorite guy. I don't remember where this battle back is from. This is some other sprite. And he has the most health. All the health bars are just one thing that I just changed for every enemy. It's just like a red bar that I just changed the length of depending on who it is. There's my good friend Sign of the Times. This one, I think, might have been a Earthbound battle back. BG5. No, BG6. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was an Earthbound battle back that I tiled. And then I used channel range on a hue saturation effect to do like the color shifting. I really like how this one looks. You just kind of let it scroll a little, and it does everything for you. Yeah, that image of the Pillsbury Doughboy, like, totally juiced up is, like, my fucking favorite shit. There's a Tumblr post, so I don't want to spoil... So, a lot of these elements are in my game. This is the main character of a game that I'm making, and will hopefully be out in a few years or something. Profaned Archdemon, I will spoil and say that this is actually an enemy you fight in the game, and he is 100% based off of a Tumblr post that I got this from. And said Tumblr post even has a boss theme for him. This is my good friend Sign at Times. Someone actually recognized this on one stream. I remember, like, someone came in and like totally recognized where I took this picture, and I was like, yeah. This is fun fact about this. So this is a sign. I think I took this image off Google Images, but like I knew it was there because I'd driven past it 100 times. It's off of I-5 here in California at around Lost Hills. It's a series of signs that's advertising a cafe, I think. So they're signs that you pass in order. The first one says a taco a day, then it says keeps the, and the last one says hangry away. And then there's a fourth one saying Lens Cafe or something like that, next exit. But every single time I pass it, I was so delighted by seeing a sign that just said a taco a day, full stop. And it still delights me to no end anytime I pass by that sign. Oh, and this appearing effect is nice. What did I do there? Sign is its own comp. Ah, you can see my good friend Loop Out. Loop Out is fucking awesome if you ever want to do... So, stage 1 of After Effects is like plugging in effects and doing funny stuff and being like, oh shit, that looks cool. Stage 2 is learning expressions, which seem they're kind of scary at first because it's literally just like putting in script into things. Loop Out is the simplest one, which basically just says you have a bunch of keyframes that are telling it to do a certain thing. When it reaches the end, if I didn't have these expressions here, he would just be sitting at the left forever. But Loop Out says, okay, do this forever. So now I can make this comp however long I want, and he will always dance. Stuff like this doesn't really matter when you're like first starting, but like when you do more and more stuff and you want stuff to be more malleable, because if you just like copied and pasted these keyframes, you could only get that much animation. And if you wanted it to be longer, you'd have to copy and paste more keyframes. Something I have done many times before learning about things like Loop Out and stuff like that. Loop Out and Wiggle are probably like the two most used expressions in After Effects, I would say. You're completely right. Wiggle is good. I'm sure there's going to be a Wiggle in here somewhere. We might have passed a couple already, honestly. Oh, the effect. That's what I wanted to see. Oh, no, I think the effect is on here. Yes, CC Griddler. CC Griddler is like... Where are we? Here we are. Get out of here. CC Griddler turns it into like a grid. And kind of... There's a lot of interesting things you can do with this one. I just kind of like realized that like... You could do this. Woo! So you can do that and then make the tile size bigger. And then like, that's another just like, oh, it's forming. And then turn opacity down. It's fun. Yes, turn anything into a sliding tile puzzle. Bunch of Swords. Bunch of Swords took me a fucking while. Let's look at Bunch of Swords. So Bunch of Swords. Oh, man. This took a while. So, Bunch of Swords, you can see that it is just a bunch of swords moving in. I'm pretty sure this is like copy and pasted the same. So, not only are they moving in space, but they're also getting slightly bigger when they get closer to you. No rotation or anything, so I think it's just size and position. But here's the kicker. The swords have to go in front of one another. So what I did is, there's 8 swords. There are 2 of every sword. And when a sword passes in front of another sword, I switch its opacity. So this is, I can't even tell because there's two of them. Okay, so this is that sword. That kind of ice sword. So that ice sword passes... So this ice sword is behind all the swords at this point. So every sword can pass in front of it. Now it's in front. Right here, it's in front. And now it's... The upper sword has opacity so that it can pass in front of all the other swords. And then when it gets to here, it reverses. And I had to do that for every sword. Took a while. There might be, like most things, there might be a better way to do it, but that's how I did it. So that one took a while, but it was worth it because it looks great. Oh, this is, I think this is just like Earthbound Battleback with like crazy shit on it. I love this song. This one? Yes, it's this one. I can start closing these, taking up room. Okay. So this is... Why do I have rulers on in this comp? So these are Earthbound Battlebacks. I think this is when you're fighting... I don't remember. So they're all just kind of like rotating and changing colors in interesting ways. And then I think I have an entire, nope. Where are you? This one? No, it must be in this comp. How's it blurring then? Maybe I took off the blur or something like that. Either way, then it's blurred. So it looks all... This one, I think this effect right here is the heaviest thing in the entire scene. This takes the most time to render out. The Sanctuary Guardian BG, you're right. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So this takes the most time to render out because blurs are very, very fucking heavy. And Iron Sentinel, my favorite little guy. This is just another Earthbound Battleback that you can see it going away. That's because I have Reptile on it, so it repeats infinitely. And the stars in the background, I use this for, if you've seen Wayne's Grand Tour BG82. Why is it BG? Oh, I think I know why. Okay, yeah, so I have BG8, which is this thing scrolling, and then I have BG82, which is laid flat, and then stars. So the stars, this is one of those things that you can find out just from like looking up stars move tutorial. It is called CC Ball Action. My favorite name for an effect. CC Ball Action is really fun. You can do a lot of snow star effects with it. So it basically just takes a solid color, turns it into balls. And then you can change ball size. You can do all sorts of things with the balls, but if you make them small, they turn into little stars. Either way, you can do a lot of cool stuff with this. I think I don't have the project for Wayne's Grand Tour thing on this computer, but I had to do some tricky shit with the stars in that one, I remember, for the transition. Hey, what did I do? Oh, that's what I did. There we go. And that's Iron Sentinel. Iron Sentinel probably has a wiggle effect. Oh, no, actually, you know what? I think Toffee has a wiggle effect when he lands. Where's Toffee? Yeah, wiggle position. Look at that. So, wiggle is good. A wiggle position effect has two variables is the wrong word. Two expressions. Two attributes. And it's the speed, the number of wiggles per second, and the amount of wiggle. And you can get kind of like procedural wiggles So if I were to say delete this, Toffee would be wiggling at 5 wiggles per second, 24 wiggles per second for the rest of time. So it's kind of slow. But if you do this where it goes from like 0 up to a number back down, it kind of turns into like a temporary like, whoa, shakes it up. So that's the first session. Ugh. These all were pretty good, but I didn't go as hard into these ones as I went into the second batch, which is here. Oh man, Automotive Obelisk. Tarkus, my good friend. I made this entire second set because of Tarkus. I wanted to make this so bad. I love my good friend Tarkus. Also, Toffee like fucking bounces when Tarkus shows up. Doesn't he? Am I remembering this right? Boing. Yeah, kind of. I like that effect. I got good timing on that. Good job, past me. So, Tarkus, he kind of just slides up and down, but I made this. How did I do this? That's BG10. So that's all part 1. Ugh, excuse me. This is... Oh, this is not... This is a very specific gradient, apparently. Or maybe I just reused this from the later one? I don't know. Either way, this is... Did I just make this a 3D object? How did I do... Oh, I made this a 3D object. Okay, so this is... Wait, is this an image sequence? What did I do here? Scrolling floor. Yeah, this is an image sequence. Oh, I think I made this in this program. Yeah, here it is. So the Tarkus floor is just this string of colors. Then I repeated it and made it scroll. Then went here, turned it into a 3D object. We'll get into 3D objects eventually. The Triceratops taking FS and the big grad for tower sources. Yeah, he's kind of... Tarkus is like that. Or I should say the Triceratops tank is like Tarkus. So the floor is already scrolling, but with the 3D effect, we can add this perspective to it. And then it looks like it's moving. And then Tarkus rolls across it. Wrong comp. Then Tarkus rolls across it. And he has a little smoke puttering after him. I think that's the same smoke JPEG I used for Borserer. Oh, that's the shadow. The shadow moved off screen, so Tarkus could go there. Here's Popcorn. Popcorn is the creation of Freya Polycement, friend of RTVS. She made... I don't know what she made Popcorn for, but Popcorn was going to be in like an RPG Maker game of hers, and I fell in love with him. I love the guy. This background... eager eyes might recognize it as a theater map in Gary's mod. I think this might be the one we did the HLVR commentary in. So this background, so I went way harder on the backgrounds for this rather than just like, oh, After Effects comps and stuff like that. I actually like went and got footage from other things and did way trickier shit. So this one, I literally went into Gary's mod, attached a camera to a wheel, and spun the wheel. And I got this footage. This is just a video of Gary's mod. It's awesome. Yep, here we are. Nope. That's a magnifying glass. Get out of there. Yep, here's me recording. Just got a few seconds of that. Hello? There we go. And then Popcorn just does some flips and goes away. So this one was kind of the hardest. I wanted... Okay, so This is the Mute City. This is the Mute City racetrack. Someone went and like not just grabbed the assets to Mute City, but like ripped the entire track as a flat non-mode 7'd image and just made it one thing. I wonder if it's in here. BG9. Here? F-Zero Mute City. So that's Mute City. That's the whole damn thing in like a 6800 by 3400 image. Incredible detail. So what I wanted to do was have I was like, oh, so the camera will fly down the track. So I wanted to do it. I was like, maybe I could do it in Maya or something. That would be easier, but I was like, that would be a lot of work. So I was like, but I could probably do it in After Effects with a camera. Turns out it's not very easy. I had to do some wacky shit for this. So I did use a camera, but something with like camera perspective and stuff like that made like really clean movement kind of fucked up. So I don't remember how I even like... I think I just got like really lucky and I just kind of like dropped some keyframes and made it just smooth. Like there's like a weird kind of like lull in the turn here and stuff like that. But it looks fine. It got the exact visual impression that I wanted. Also, the Mute City background is just sitting there, and I kind of scrolled it hither and thither to... No. Wait, what? Oh, I think I... All right, I exported this as an image sequence because it was way too fucking heavy. Look how long it took to load. Alright, so you take away this. So this, like, it's just a static image that just, like, tilts and scrolls with the track. I think I attached it to a null object, so take... Null objects are good in case you've never used one. What a null object is, it's nothing. It's just a thing that can take on attributes, but it's really good if you want to apply a set of transformations, it's what you'd use if you want to apply like two different sets of transformations. I want this thing to make this thing move left and right. I would need to use like a position keyframe to do that, but also to make it move up and down and wiggle, that would be position and rotation. And it would be way too hard to make it move up and down the right way and also left and right the right way using just like one channel. So I make a null object that inherits the attributes of what the floor is doing, and then tie the background to that, and then make the background scroll left and right as needed. So, just a quick and easy trick for most things in After Effects. Once things get complicated enough, like null objects become very, very important. Like an empty in Blender, exactly. Nope, wrong comp again. And this is just a Carvana tower. I just fucking love... I like... Anytime I've passed a Carvana tower, I'm just like, that's an RPG enemy right there. So I'm glad I got to make it an RPG enemy. And it's just got a bunch of cars that fly around it. I think I did just like the same shit I did for a bunch of swords. Where they kind of like... It's two different ones. There's like two sets of each car, and then the opacity switches on and off as it passes behind the tower. And behind the other cars, of course. Which also took a while, but I think it took less time than Bunch of Swords did. If you've never seen a Carvana tower in real, it's quite a sight. It's very funny. Little Nightmare. I love Little Nightmare. Little Nightmare. It's just a Little Nightmare just cracks me up. It's like who was it that posted it? It was either like Beef or Skylar back in like a Discord I was in, but like someone would post this, like this is like the actual size of this night. Hang on, where is he? This is how big Little Nightmare is. I don't know where this image is from or why he's so small, but it like cracks me up fucking every time I see it. So like so I was just like, yeah, little like the game Little Nightmare, get it? And then, so I was like, I wonder what sort of trickery I can do to make it, like, magnify, you know? I was like, maybe I could make a second comp. No, turns out, fucking After Effects has a magnify tool. It's that easy. Where is that? Yeah. So, check this out. The magnifying glass is just an image of a magnifying glass with a hole in it. On this adjustment layer, and I think the mask is on, there's like a mask on this layer. No, wait, is there? Or maybe the adjustment layer is maybe made to be a circle? I don't remember how I did this. Either way, so the magnify effect, you can make it a circle. Okay, that's right. So literally, you can just make a magnifying glass effect, and then it just magnifies whatever you put it under. Like, if I were to move it. Hey, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I think this is masked out in a weird way. Oh no, it's actually tied to this. So, see, I can literally move the magnifying glass around and it magnifies whatever I want. Well, it magnifies anything that's behind it. Either way. That was a fun discovery to make while making this. I was like, I wonder how to do this. And oh no, After Effects just knows how to do it. And then he shrinks out of existence. I love Outer Demons. I don't remember how I animated this. I think I just like... Oh man, is this really what I did? It looks like I just like exported sequences and then just like hand animated them in After Effects. This is probably the most sensible way to do it. Took a while, but I love them. Let's see if I can remember where these are all from. This guy's from, what's his name? This is Firebrand from Video Game. I think this sprite's from Gargoyle Quest, maybe. I think both of these guys are from different Castlevania games, and this guy's from Toe Jam and Earl. Ghosts and Goblins, yeah, thank you. I love the Toe Jam and Earl demon. He's just so fucking silly. This background is from a Castlevania. I did the same thing as the Borster Tree one earlier, was just some general parallax action. Who's next? Hell Machine for killing all human beings. This background might be a cylinder. Man, all my Pizza Tower songs are coming up on the playlist. Good shit. Is this? No, that's... Wait, 13. Yes. Okay, so there's just a scary sky in the background. I probably just searched like post-apocalyptic city, added a wave filter over it, and then this is a fire texture that I turned into... Oh no, I used CC Sphere, not Cylinder. Okay, so I used CC Sphere and then rotated it. So many of these effects have been achieved with CC Sphere. And then it's just the ball. This is literally just the ball that's rotating, but it has some blending modes onto it to make it look like a devastating cloud in front of it. Oh, I think I used... No, I definitely used CC Cylinder for this, for the fire. Hell Machine. Where are you? There you are. I have to use... So this screen, I didn't explain this at all. This is like half just for After Effects experts and half for beginners. I don't know. Sorry. But if you have any type of transformation, you can click this, which puts it on a graph, and then you can start manually editing keyframes. I don't like it because I'm used to Maya that has a really, really good graph editor, but it's a pretty good graph editor. It's not nearly as robust, but you can still do enough with it. There's even some tangent control. Not very much, but enough. So this is how I made all of his movements kind of smooth, because even if you just put keyframes there, by default they would just sort of be like kind of weirdly auto-tangented, and I wanted to have some ease and out to it. And I think there's two different... Oh, that's how I did this. I think this is fire inside and fire outside. Yes, render outside, render inside. So, this is CC Cylinder. We'll be seeing more of CC Cylinder if we go to the GNOME project. CC Cylinder takes anything, turns it into a cylinder. This is just fire. Now it's a cylinder. You can change the radius, the position. I changed the radius to make it like grow in. It's literally just a big cylinder turning small. Then you can spin it, make it rotate. Woo! And then you can render, you can change what part of it's rendering. You can change the light and the shading on it. So if you make it render the full thing, it looks like this. But if I made it render the full thing, it would go on top of the Hell Machine. Like the back would be on top of Hell Machine. And I didn't want that. So I made the same thing twice. Made this one the outside of it. And this back one the inside of it. So altogether, it looks a little janky, but it looks nice when you do that. And then you can put something into the middle of it. Okay, who's next? Sentry Egg. I wrote it, but Simpleton came up with the idea for Sentry Egg and gave me some gibbering mouth eggs. This one was fun. I went ham with this one. Oh boy. this is just the eggs. So the eggs, I think this is... Oh, this is heavy because of... Where is that? Is that this? Okay, yeah. This in the back is, like, the eggs with some crazy, What does it have on it? Hang on a second. Effects. Ah, it's got turbulent displace. Turbulent displace is a very good one. Hang on, let me, So this is just the eggs in the background, but it has turbulent displace on it, which makes it kind of boil in a very interesting way. You can do all sorts of stuff with turbulent displace. If you've seen my animation I made of Wayne where Mira explodes, that was a combination of CC lens and turbulent displace. You can make it more fucked up, like that. You can make the size. You can make the size of the displacement bigger. It's kind of hard to see these things in static keyframes. If you play with this and make the keyframes move and stuff like that, you'll see more things of how this works. But what I just wanted was just kind of a vague effect behind the eggs to make them a little more menacing. These are my hands that I very, very poorly keyframed in front of like a green sheet in my room. So you can see this all. Oh, that's the second. This is here's the peeling the curtain back a little bit. The secondary reason I made this kind of cool pop effect behind them is because I could not reconcile some of the keyframing on this, and I was like, I'm not fucking rotoing this bullshit. Like I did not do a very good job of lighting it. I do not have an actual green screen setup. This was a very silly effect. There's all these like artifacts like this that I couldn't key out. So I just made this kind of weird turbulent displace effect behind it so you wouldn't notice. And no one did. Until I told you just now. The arms, these are all my arms. I was going for some Hilux shit here. I really like the, hang on, this is eating up a lot of power. I really like the timing I got on this. I think, I have like a one frame or like a several frame ghost. This is all wiggle position. You can see it. So I think I have like two different ghost frames behind it with varying opacities and varying wiggles. Same thing here. And then I think the rotating arms in the back are just kind of there. And then I think I did some... I don't know how I got the frame timing like that. That's the wheel. No, arm 3 is that one. Arm 2 is this one? Yes. So here's a ghost frame. There's a second ghost frame, and then there's the one that's actually on top. It's more noticeable when it's kind of like moving up and down. See, more artifacting. You don't notice it because this is here. My little trick. And the teeth are just little chattering teeth. I like them. And I think the last one is the Khan. Just this Mongolian warrior on a motorcycle. Fun fact about this. This is a little bit of little ingenuity, little bit of engineering. This is 3D video of the Great Wall of China that is on YouTube. Here's how I recorded this. This is a screen recording from my phone. To make the footage move, I literally moved it with my finger because I was like, oh, I could record this on my computer, but you'd be able to see my mouse unless I like, you know, so I'd have to record it so that I don't, you know, and then I was like, wait, I could just record this on my phone. You can't see my finger. So there's these kind of like small strokes I make with my finger to make it turn in a way that I want. Just recorded it with my phone. Yep, there he goes. See? It's that easy. And then I just put it behind the con. Why does it keep opening up the magnifying glass whenever I do that? And it just sits behind the con, and his motorcycle putts away. And that's it, I think. Yep. That's mixed media, baby. That's it. Okay. I'm very happy with this. I'm thinking... I said I wouldn't add any more to this, but I've been thinking about it. I thought of, like... The problem is with the way I have this is unless I change... I could change something, but really, like, how I have it set up is just easiest for me to do these in sets of 8. But it makes each one kind of an undertaking, because then I have to, like... I can't just, add 2 and call it a day. No, I have to add a whole another 8. And this one was fun, but it took me, like, a week or 2. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm good after this. I only need... This is, like, 2 minutes. Actually, no, it's 4 minutes worth of stuff, because each one of these is 2 minutes. But I was like, oh, but what if there was more? I could make more. So we'll see. Maybe I'll make more. Maybe I won't. So that's that. I'm gonna close you. I did not do anything. Close. No, close. Wait, why did you not close project? No. No. Okay. What did I want to do next? Let's do... Do you want to see the Gnome Tunnel next, or do you want to see the Kingdom Hearts waves next? I'm going to listen to the first answer I see in chat. Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts it is. Let me find it. I'm going to quickly jump back here so you don't see my file structure, just in case there's any unscrupulous things there. You can enjoy the screen we just looked at. Is it here? No, it would be... I gotta organize these fucking After Effects files better, man. I'm so good with everything else. I don't know why my After Effects projects are all fucked. Everything else has its own designated folder and good system, and these ones are just fucking everywhere. I think it's this one. The project's taking a while to open. I think it's this one. Yeah, baby. Here he is. All right. Here we are. Oh man, this one, I'm still super fucking happy with this one. I think this is the heaviest fucking After After Effects project I've ever made, like even more so than the screen, just for a myriad of reasons. First things first, Logmore drew these wonderful apes. I did not. These are his apes. And they're very wonderful, and they fit in perfectly with how I wanted to do it. Everything else is me, including the ripples in the water. I just animated those in Animate. All this was done in After Effects, and the wave was also animated in After Effects. And this is actually a photograph I took. I don't remember where this was, but that is actually my photo of clouds. So, where do I start? This is waves. Waves from above. Okay. So this was literally just a, I Googled After Effects wave tutorial, and one of them had the answer for me. Let's go through it. You got a lot of stuff going on just in this one fucking file alone, but it looks super nice, and I'm really fucking happy with it. I'm pretty sure I just followed the video tutorial exactly, so I can't claim much credit for this, but like the underlying methodology of it is really cool. So this employs my other favorite thing. So we've talked about loop out, we've talked about wiggle, we've talked about how I use CC Sphere a lot. The other, I think arguably the most important After Effects effect ever that you'll see is a little bad boy called fractal noise. Wait, is it fractal noise? Hang on. It's fractal noise, right? Yeah, it's fractal noise. So, let's take a look at fractal noise, just to show it off. So if you've used Photoshop, you might be aware of a thing that Photoshop has had since like the dawn of time, which is like generate clouds. And when you generate clouds, it makes something like, oh wait, I need a solid. Where are my solids? Sure. Make something like this. It'll just shit this out, which is cool. It looks kind of like clouds, you know? After Effects is basically a cracked out version of the clouds effect. So there's a number of things you can do. First of all, you can change the type of fractal, so it can look like this or this. Actually, that's not that different. I think dynamic is the one you get the most out of. You make it look like this, this, all sorts of things. So you might be thinking, why do I care? The reason you care, you can do all sorts of stuff to the contrast of it. You can change the brightness and stuff. You can change the type of noise interpolation, and you can change the complexity, which adds like more or less detail to it, and the evolution. So you can make it kind of like boil and bubble like this, and you can move it around. So with this, and we'll get to this, I also did this for the noise video. You can also, the gnome video, you can do all sorts of, you can get so much mileage out of this. Where's Colorama? Here's my good friend Colorama. Oh, that's rough. Hang on a second. Where's output cycle? There we go. Colorama's a good one. It literally just takes, you drop it onto anything and you use a palette, and it makes a crazy little ramp for you. It's fire and smoke. So this, now, we can do like color suffering. I just threw these two effects onto each other and we have magma now. I didn't even mean to do that. But now we just have magma. You make this flat and some shit, you got fucking roiling magma. You got ooh, that's rough. Some of these are meant for like, and the other thing is, if you've done 3D graphics and stuff like that, if you've done 3D graphics, shading, or anything like that, then you know the power of having a black and white map, because computers can use black and white maps for like a whole ton of things. It can use it for displacement, it can use it for specular, it can use it for bump mapping, it can use it for all sorts of types of maps for 3D objects. So you can use different types of noise and apply them for different effects. Or if you're just doing 2D stuff in After Effects, you can just make funny colors on them. Moldy. Do this. Most of these are kind of like different roiling effects. This one's cool. So this one, I mean, you might see this and think like, oh, that's cool visuals, which it is. But if you get tricky with it, you can do all sorts of shit. For instance, this is some this base here is a number of things. You have... Oh, I think I also use turbulent displace on this. Yeah, so I use turbulent displace. So fractal noise is giving me... Hang on. Glow? Turn that off. So this one I changed a lot. Oh, it's the contrast and color. So this is just... Well, it is black and white, but I made the white darker, so it's like gray. So this has that kind of like weird roiling pattern to it. Invert it. You get that. Shift channels. Now it's just the highlights. Shift channels is an important one here because this is like some highlights, some mid, some dark. If you can use shift channels to make it like just the highlights so it feels stronger. Fill it, make it blue. Box blur, make it a little bit blurrier. Turbulent displace, make it kind of like wave. It's kind of hard to see, but if it like over time you can see that there's kind of like a bulge that moves across to give it this kind of like roiling pattern to it. Glow adds a little bit of color. And then you have this. So you take this, you put it over a gradient. You keep duplicating this and change the attributes a little bit. So add some more contrast to it. Add a little bit of highs to it. Now you've got some kind of foam here. Add some more highs to it. Now you've got like pure white little specks of like sun reflecting off the water rather than just the highs and lows of the water. But that's just the top of the water. There's a lot of stuff under the water too. So if you take all this stuff, make it darker and big, and make it this kind of like weird, undulating, almost fleshy kind of effect, and then blend that on top of everything or under everything. I think just blending it on top makes it look a little better. You have like a counter motion to the waves. It is not going to render at full. Hang on a second. Let's do a third. You get this kind of like interesting counter motion. 90% of my stuff uses like some kind of noise. Yeah, it's super cool. Like noise and general like black and white stuff has like so much fucking use in computer graphics that like even up to like a few years ago and even up to now, I'm just like, holy shit, you can do so much shit with noise. It's awesome. You have that. You have a little bit of color to like have shore fall off. I think I added this because it's supposed to be near the coast because he's standing on the coast like Riku. And this, this was another little touch. So this right now looks good. So you take this, make it flat, stretch it out to the horizon, you got a good thing. But perspective-wise, it would look kind of weird if stuff in the back was moving as fast as stuff in the front. So what you do, this is also from the video, totally took it. You have another adjustment layer. I briefly mentioned adjustment layers. So adjustment layers are kind of like null effects where you can take something and apply attributes to it. An adjustment layer is when you apply attributes to an adjustment layer, it applies to everything under it. So it's a way to like, okay, I want every one of these layers to have one effect on it, but I don't want to drag and drop it onto every single one. You put it on an adjustment layer, it just automatically works under everything under it. So what this is actually really clever. It's a mask on top of everything. So there's actually a time effect. What is it called? It's called time warp. It's literally just called time warp. So time warp literally changes the speed of everything underneath it. And all of this is being procedurally generated. So time warp knows, okay, take all of the loop out effects that are being applied to this and just slow them down. And then there's this mask over it with a like really wide, it's kind of hard to tell, but essentially there's a huge blur happening between here to make it look really smooth. And now when this is working, everything over here is moving half as fast as everything over here, which, let me see if I can just render out a few seconds just to give the idea of it.
Look at... Okay, this is rendering in real time. Look at how fucking slow this bar is going. Now imagine everything rendering out for the whole project. This is how long it takes. It's fucking insane. After Effects is... I love After Effects, but like, man. If it gets heavy, there's literally nothing you can do unless you own a render farm or have access to a render farm. It's fucking insane. Either way, so let's see if there's enough to play it. Okay, you can kind of see it. So look, everything on the right moves a little slower than everything on the left, which looking kind of top down kind of gives this impression of like some kind of like drop off, and the water settles a little bit more as it's out here. Which, where's the actual full comp? When you get here, to flatten everything, it does look very flat. I could have done more to make it like pop out a little, but I didn't really need to, you know? Who cares? The water looks nice enough. So it has a nice just kind of roiling pattern that I can just let go on for as long as I want to. This stuff was hand animated. I think this hand animated stuff took me longer than any of the After Effects stuff did. Speaking of hand animated, the wave is a combination of things. So how did I do this? One day I want to get into video editing. What program would you suggest for it? It's Squaresoft Water. Yeah, exactly. You're right. That's a hard question to answer because, like, there's different things you're asking. It's like, I'm just starting video editing. What should I start with? Versus, what do you use and what do most people use? I use Adobe Premiere, and I've always used Adobe Premiere. That's not exactly the, like, industry standard, I think. When I was in college, apparently it was Avid. I don't know if people are using Avid, but like there's like Pro Tools, which people usually use for like sound and mixing and stuff like that. But you can also use it for film. But all of those cost money and are hard to come by unless you find a copy that dropped off a bus somewhere, which is possible. I know that there are free, like DaVinci Resolve is free, but I have never touched it. So I have no idea how it works. But I recommend using Premiere and A in conjunction. Yes, do not use After Effects for editing or video stuff. After Effects is for making crazy stuff, and then you put it into Premiere to edit it. Windows XP Movie Maker. Yeah, I mean, you can get a lot done with Windows XP Movie Maker, but if you want... I use Premiere, personally. And Premiere is good because After Effects and Premiere interact with each other. So if you do my kind of workflow, you make stuff in After Effects, throw it into Premiere, and then you can edit it into whatever you want. And it all works out. So, what was I talking about? The wave. So the wave rising, that's under wave crashing comp. Man, I barely remember how I did any of this. So wave break. No, wave body, wave break. So wave body, so I animated this too. Wave body is literally, hang on. So this is literally just a bubble that I just animated going up and into you. And then I animated. This is a, I just animated this a different color. That was just to differentiate it. This is like this is the underside of the wave. This is above the wave. So you can see as it like comes high enough, it falls into you. And then, let's see. I don't think it'll... I don't even remember how I did this. I masked this somehow. So I went back to the wave comp, the wave from above comp, and then I made everything more substantial. Like this. Just made all the things faster, made the movement faster, made the evolution faster, made the waves more, the wave wake more recognizable. I also made it square because I think it deformed better. And you can't tell from me scrubbing, but it is much faster than the roiling waves. So I have this. Put this over... Where is it? Here. Put that over the wave shape that I animated. Made it kind of grow, and also here it's like deforming. I don't even know where it would be. Here? No, maybe in the adjustment layer. No. Here? Yes. Oh man, look at that. So I used just a straight up Bezier warp. You can see it here. So the entire square comp is getting kind of like, imagine folding a piece of paper towards you. And you can't really tell because it's being conformed to this kind of like oblong shape, but it has this slight amount of depth to it because of that. And then as it gets closer, I made the bend more dramatic as if the wave is leaning. And I made it darker because the over part is it here? I don't even know. Wait, here? Yes, okay. So the wave comes up, and then as the top part grows, the bottom part becomes darker because it's being obscured by it. And then I hand animated a bunch of foam in After Effects. This took a while. Actually, let me just take a look at that. I haven't seen this in a while. Nope, So this is what it looked like in Animate. Once it plays. Hang on a second. I never animated a wave like this before, so this was a lot of like kind of learning. But I think it has a pretty good effect. Oh, this was great. I'm still really happy with this. That's like right when you get plunged underwater. I'm pretty sure I like straight up like took this from, I literally was like I was like looking up anime water on YouTube, and someone made like a cool AMV of like crazy Sakuga water shit. And then this one, I think I like didn't like trace it or nothing, but like I took the exact impression of like how these different kind of shapes overlap on each other, even though it's just a few frames long. And it looks really cool. And then I add this kind of like jet stream wake that fizzles out really quickly. And a few waves that kind of pop at you. And then I added this kind of foam. I kind of wanted the foam to be better. Like you can see it here really clearly, but it's kind of like, it looks really good here because it's like a whole bunch of bubbles wrapping around the game chimp. And then I got to about here and I'm like, all right, I guess it's just a bunch of different separate clouds that disperse like this is where I look back on this and I'm like, yeah, whatever, get him out of here. But it's fine, still looks good. And then that passes. Oh, stomach, stop. Oh, After Effects is getting so confused. Oh, I know what's happening. Hang on a second. It's because I changed all the layers here. So, then it's kind of blended into the water a little bit. Ideally, this was a mistake that kind of bothered me. I think this wake effect should have been lower, but it would have like the wave should start breaking like here, right? And I think by this point it looks right, but like earlier in the wave it looked kind of wrong. But I would have had to change everything in Animate and re-render it, which wouldn't have been impossible, but everything I do for stream graphics is like, it has this fundamental error of like, no one's gonna notice, who gives a shit? It looks good enough, is what I'm trying to say. And there's separate water I animated for this, and then sploosh. We are underwater now. This, I think this was a different tutorial that I used to be like After Effects underwater tutorial. And that is seafloor pre-comp. So seafloor pre-comp is some nice little Newtonian rays on top of the water. Guess how I got the Newtonian rays? You guessed it. It's our good friend Fractal Noise. get this kind of like weird cell membrane effect, and then you put it on the sea floor, you have Newtonian rays. You get these nice little effect. You put a gradient on it to get that, and then you do a bunch of other shit. Oh boy, why is this so big? What happened? Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff going on here. Why is there a camera? What is this camera doing? I don't even know. So, seafloor pre-comp. That is our Newtonian ray base on the water. There's oh, what did I do here? Mesh warp, CC glass. Okay, so CC glass is how I'm getting this like kind of I can't think of a better word for it than CG water. You know what I mean? Makes more sense when it's animating, but it's kind of like this weird sort of like straight up thing that's being added to it, and then there's a mesh warp to make it kind of like wiggle. Not very much, evidently. Anyway, and then I changed the hue a little bit to make it a little darker. Ceiling. Oh, this is another. Wait a minute, what is this doing here? Did I make it this? No. I don't know why this is this color. Something is weird here. But this is cool. So this is the Newtonian ray base. Did I like change? Wait, ceiling comp. What's this? Okay, so this, I don't know why the color is this way. Maybe I just have some blending mode that didn't make through. So this is the same Newtonian ray base, but I have this kind of like steady mesh warp over it to kind of make it look like it's the water above you rushing and then wrapping around, and then by the end of it, it is like falling on top of you. Like that. And then it just sort of cuts through you. And then, I don't know why this is that color. It should be a different color, but I guess something broke. Or something like that. Waves and Tube. I think this is a visit from our good friend, CC Cylinder. There he is. So this is the big wave comp that I used for the wave. And it is in our good friend, CC Cylinder. Just literally put a camera in a tube and rotate the tube. That's all there is to it. You can see the tube. The tube. Either way, very powerful. This is the base of the gnome effect, which we will see when we get there. Seafloor. And then added God rays. Or maybe I did. Wait, did I just not mix this in? Wait. I don't even. Ugh, anyway, who cares? Maybe I broke it or something. I don't know. Then God rays. How did I make these God rays? God rays are their own comp. Let's go there and find out. Am I blind? Where are they? Do you get like thrown somewhere? Why is that a ceiling comp one? Huh? Whatever. Anyway, I think this is also from the After Effects tutorial, but I think it's just the Newtonian ray base from the ceiling comp, except there is a radial blur. Radial blur is usually what you use to make something kind of explode from the middle or kind of rotate around. But if you move the center of the blur really high, it goes from like this, where it's like coming at you, to coming above you. And then, because it's fractal noise that's moving around, it's kind of doing that same roiling effect. And then you've got God rays in water. It's that easy. I don't know why. this one's all weird like that. And then, this is self-explanatory. It's just the ape. He's kind of morphed a little. And then there's I think there's just an animation. Might not even be an animation. I think this is literally, wait, I think, yeah, this, no, wrong button. What is page down, page up? Fucking After Effects. Having a fucking different key by key, frame by frame key than like everything else. This is literally just a mask moving down. I was like, should I add like foam to the top of this? I'm like, no, that'd be too much work. So it just kind of moves up and down. And then it's the same thing at the back half. And it loops back to the top. That one, so this is just like 700 fractal noise effects running at the same time. This thing took fucking forever to render out. But I really like it. Can you show us the final video when you're done explaining this somewhere? Wait, can you show us the final video when you're done explaining this? Or is the vid somewhere? The final video of this? Oh, yeah, I can show it to you. Hang on a second. Let me find it. Let me find it so it's not lagging. Yeah, there's definitely some files you're not supposed to see here. Let's see. Oh, fuck. I'm playing this through VLC, which is what I was playing my music through. Damn it. That's okay. Let's just look at this in silence for a little bit. So that's all the effects at once in real time. So you can see, like... It's hard to tell, but, like, it looks natural, the fact that everything in the back is moving slower than everything in the front. And then it all royals, and then about here, yeah. And the wave kind of blends in, comes up. That still looks really good. I'm really happy with that. So, oh, maybe I just took out the Newtonian ray base. I don't even know. Yeah, so there's a combination of like blur, mesh warp, and hand animating to make him look like he's like underwater. There was more I could have done that I was thinking about, but I was like, no, fuck that. That would take way too long. So you can kind of see the weird sort of impression of the wave, kind of like this sort of glassy surface that's above you that's sort of moving and falling flat on top of you. But it's hard to see, but it's very natural, so it looks good. Play that real speed. It moves a little hectically, but I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know why that's like... There's some weird glow. Hang on. What's going on there? Oh, I must have had a layer... Like, I think there's a slight outer glow on the ape, and then I like doubled it up for a second and then took it away. I didn't even notice that. This was kind of a rush job, all this like wake animating around him, but it looks fine, I think. Like I said, this is my first time really like animating stuff like this. I'd thought about it a lot before, but this is the first time really doing it like conceptually. But that was good. I was happy with that. Where did my... All right, hang on a second. Let me get music back up. No, we were listening to Pizza Time. Where is it? Hold on. Come on. No, we're listening to this now. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. It's not really a whole vault full of secret projects, but it's just enough stuff that if someone saw it, they'd be like, hey, wait a minute. Oh yeah, I don't know why... My tuna settings must be messed up. It's definitely not Mario Puzzle 1 that's playing right now. Oh, I think it was Mario Puzzle playing through OBS, but I stopped it. Anyway, what's next? I can show the gnome tunnel. let me go back. Let me find the gnome tunnel. This is the file name for this is very funny. Let me check. Let me see if I had something in here that I wasn't going to show. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Here we are in GnomeTube. So the original footage I got was like, if I hide this camera, it's probably gonna get fucked up. Let me just show the clip. So the original clip is, I don't know why he magenta screened this instead of green screening it. He recorded this in Gmod. I think the gnome is literally in the skybox of this map, if memory serves. So, I had to track it. Tracking it was interesting. Welcome. I need to make this like the third so it actually renders in time. So here's the nice thing with After Effects. I feel like if I re-enable the camera, it might break, but that's okay because we're just showing this off. So this is our good friend CC Cylinder. And this is our good friend Fractal Noise. Made this kind of like cool. It's Fractal Noise and Colorama to make this like crazy psychedelic pattern. And I mirrored it so that it would seamlessly meld on the tube. I'm pretty happy with these colors. They was fun. And then turn into a tube, move it around. Then apply a bunch of camera moves. So the thing is, so After Effects actually has like camera tools that you can use. And if an object is, if you make it a 3D layer, or if it's a 3D object like a cylinder, you can actually move a camera through it and around it. So I manually keyed a bunch of stuff to match Wayne's head movement. Vaguely. It doesn't fit perfectly. I could have done more work, but I did not. And then, yeah, so it just kind of looks around. And then there's these cool waves that happen. The waves look kind of like this. It's the same kind of Fractal Noise thing, except I put a mask that like rolls up. And then also put that through the cylinder. So it looks like this. Whoosh. Whoosh. And then it gets faster and faster. It's sort of whoosh, 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 whoosh. And then there's this crazy kaleidoscope effect that goes over it too. The kaleidoscope effect, I was like, okay, so I'll make a kaleidoscope effect, which also was looking up a After Effects tutorial. How do I do a kaleidoscope effect? Or like, what are some cool... Literally, we were like looking up like trippy visuals because he's like, I don't care, just make it like trippy in some way. And then we were like looking up, if you'll notice this project name, while we were looking up trippy visuals, there was one that was just called Trippy Visuals 4K that you were meant to see. That was just meant for like high people, which I love, so that's what I named the project file. And I looked up how to do a kaleidoscope effect, which was really fun. And then I was like, oh, I can map the kaleidoscope effect to a CC sphere and then move the camera around because the CC sphere is a 3D object. Fun fact, CC sphere, for some reason, is not a 3D object. Even though there's like an internal logic to rendering it as a 3D object, it doesn't work with a camera. So I had to use a thing I had never heard of called CC environment, which kind of makes it like this weird like semicircle thing, but it responds to camera action, so I could like move it around and it would track successfully. So I might as well show the kaleidoscope. So here's the kaleidoscope. It is literally a bunch of mirrors and then a control thing that I actually learned that there's the manual sliders for. And I think they're yeah, these are set to time. So this is another thing that you can do that kind of works very similarly to a loop expression, where if you just take a value And or if you don't even put any keyframes in, you just set an expression to time, that just makes it change with time. Like literally the frame number will be the value in the expression. So you can do time times 50, time plus negative 100 and stuff like that. And then what you'll have is just the effect changes, or the value of the sliders just change over time. So it's really easy to get procedural movement like that using all this. I think it's about time I reveal what this is. I was telling Wayne, like, hey, these are going to be so trippy that, like, people aren't even going to tell what they are. Just, like, give me some images I can use to, like, sneak in there, as part of the joke. And, the one he gave me was this. Which is why there's a very visible PlayStation 2 in the video. So I added some stuff over it to make it kind of like weird and morphy, just to make it a little bit less clear. But in the full kaleidoscope, it looks really good. I saw people guess Finkel's World, which is a good guess, but Mary-Kate and Ashley was actually prevalent to the gnome itself, so. So we have the Mary-Kate and Ashley Void, which worked out pretty well. I had never touched, like I said, I never touched CC environment, but it like worked out okay. So if I were to like do that here, I guess. CC environment. Nope, not that. Shit. Oh, maybe I can't do it here. So the kaleidoscope here, CC environment. This makes it, where'd it go? What's happening? Why'd it go away? Okay, well, what if I put in a camera? What is that? What did I make? Camera. There we go. So now, I still don't really get how CC environment works, but now, I think, yeah, okay. So now if I rotate the camera, I'm like in an environment, right? Oh, I think this is constrained to the dimensions of the original kaleidoscope image, which makes sense, which is why it's a weird square. But imagine this is a window into an environment. Now we can turn the camera around and look every which way. That's kind of weird sense. So if you're ever trying to accomplish an effect like this, you can't use CC Sphere, you have to use CC Environment. My tip to you. Adobe products are literally arcane and they hate to function properly. Back in college, I met a lot of people, but like literally one of my professors, like back in college, told me like, Photoshop has been around for so long that like there are people working on Photoshop right now that like don't know everything it can do. It's so old and so dense. it's just like it's so full of code down to the bottom that it's just kind of like that people never have to interact with. That probably hasn't been touched since the program was made, right? And every piece of Adobe software, even Flash, which wasn't Adobe, was owned by Macromedia, is equally arcane and crazy. And Flash is just its own fucking hell of a program, which you should not use. By the way, if you're looking to animate, don't use Flash, or Adobe Animate, as it's called now. You shouldn't use it, but you can. That's how I learned. I've been using it ever since I was 10, so I'm stuck in it. What's actually way better, I can't get a license for it because it costs money, but Toon Boom Harmony. That's what I used for my student thesis back in college. Toon Boom Harmony is really good. It's basically like, you can still do like vector graphics and stuff like that, but you can just basically do everything Flash could do, except slightly easier and less arcane. Macromedia Flash MX 2004. It's true. So yeah, that's GnomeTube. And then the waves just get faster and faster until it whites out. That was a fun one. AE Sprite's actually really good for animation. Like, you can only do, like, pixel graphics in it, basically. Anything else is too unwieldy. Because I think if you make anything too... If you try to make something, like, full, like, 1080p and then animate it, it might get a little unwieldy. But, like, the animation tools are really good. Like, they're kind of based on Flash. But they work really, really well, and I like animating stuff in AE Sprite. I animated Toffee in AE Sprite. Fucking this guy. I animated a mini sprite. It was fun. I've never tried animating in Photoshop. That seems crazy. I know you can animate in Clip Studio, in like the beefier version of Clip Studio, but I have never tried. I also know you can animate in Blender. I've used Grease Pencil a teeny bit. I feel like that's one of those things that, like, if you fully unlock how to do Grease Pencil stuff in your own brain, you can do crazy stuff with it. Like Worthy Kids and stuff like that. But I've never taken the time to do it. I probably will someday. I think you can do some cool stuff with Blender Grease Pencil if you fully unlock that skill. CSP animates decent. That's what I hear. I hear that CSP animates really good, but I've never looked at it. Photoshop was not meant to animate. it's even more arcane than the program. What else could I show? I really only had like these three things. I can show the Wayne running up the stairs, although that was mostly Maya. Let me just find that. I'll just go over that really fast. Close project, please. Don't save. Here it is. There it is. So this was mostly animated in Flash or Adobe Animate. The stairs were done in Maya. My Maya license just expired. I could show you more things in Maya, except now I can't. I was hoping to, but I do not have a Maya with which to show you anymore. So the stairs... Weird stair pre-comp. Why did I call it that? So I wanted to make them... I think I like rendered out a bunch of different passes. I'm not very good at shading and rendering. And anyway, I've gotten better at it in the last few years just because it's like back when we did GameClam, it was like, well, I made the controller and everything and it was just for Scorpy. But what happened to my Maya? It was a student license that ran out and I can't get another one. I could probably get like a free trial for a month, but otherwise I would have to pay an exorbitant amount of money. And then the cheaper version of Maya, which is called like Maya Elements or something like that, like you have to buy funny money to use it. It's like you have to buy like $300 worth of like Autodesk currency, and then you have to pay $3 a day to use it, which is insane to me. I'm not doing that. I'd sooner learn Blender. I'm also hoping to get a job soon that involves Maya, which that would probably resolve my problem, but we'll see. Anyway. So these stairs were multiple passes through Arnold. No, what was I saying? No, so back when we did GameClam, I made the GameClam controller, which I still have on this computer. I could probably open that up in Blender. And then I was like, well, I could probably figure out how to like render it well in Arnold. I'd used Arnold before. I was like vaguely familiar with it. So I like figured out a little bit more about the shading and rendering, and then I did like some very nice turnarounds of the controller in Arnold. And then since then, I've done a lot more Arnold renders, and I've gotten pretty good at it. The Spampton Neutrinos, let me find him. Let me find some of my Arnold renders. Let me go to my... Is it here? Let's see if there's... Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in here I can't show. That's okay. But, like... This was Arnold. I'm pretty happy with this. There was a different thing. There was a different version of this earlier that looked better because it looked more realistic. And then it turned into this fucked up looking Spampton head, which looks kind of like a 3D model to begin with. But the nice thing is once this gets crunched in VFX in a VHS transfer, you can't tell it's really shitty 3D anymore. Arnold is a rendering engine. It is nowadays the default rendering engine that Autodesk Maya uses. This is from Sonic 3. This is one of the multiplayer songs. This is Balloon Park Zone from Sonic 3. Did you play Sonic 3 with your brother on Genesis? Maybe that's why it activated it. Was that Adobe buying Blender thing ever bought up? I've never heard a word about that. I can only assume that is not happening. I can't imagine them buying a open source program. You too? Oh, man. Yeah, that's literally, I was like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna have to learn Blender. So, I'll learn Blender eventually. Someday. If I can get a job, because if I'm, like, one of the studios I'm looking for a job in, like, uses Maya. So if I get a job there, then I'll still be using Maya, but, like, maybe they can get me a license, or maybe I can sneak a license in from someone else. I don't know. Anyway, so you can do a lot of cool stuff with Arnold. Let me look, see if I have any more good renders. This is just kind of a reflective mess, but I like it. I was so happy with how crazy realistic you can get, like, metal textures looking in Arnold. Do not touch. What else have I got on here? Can't show that. Oh, I can't show Dark Homer because I never exported him. Oh, that's so sad. I forgot to export him. Here's a here's a render of Dark Homer that I made for I just made this for, like, essentially fan art, or I just made this as, like, a congratulations to myself after the Dark Homer stream, but, like, I'm really happy with this render. I just made him look, like, all wet and reflective. This is good. His hands are so fucked up. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like... So, to talk about Dark Homer, Wayne had this idea, like, fully formed. And he was like... I think I've talked about this before at some other point, but Wayne talked about... like, Wayne had this Dark Homer idea fully formed in his brain. And he was like, I need to figure out how to get Dark Homer, which is a specific 3D model from this video. And he was like, maybe I could, like, find the person and ask them to make it. And then I, like, looked at it, and if you've seen the original video, it's like this really amateurish 3D model. And I'm like, I'm not a very good modeler. I can make a really amateurish 3D model. So I did. And I gave him a body, which he didn't have before. I probably have some renders of him somewhere. Oh, I almost forgot. Anyway. Should be more pictures of Homer around here somewhere. Here's a... this is, I think this is just one frame from the final video, but this is a pretty good full body of him. So I was like... So I'm not a terrible 3D modeler, but I'm definitely not good either. So I made the head as accurately as I possibly could. Really happy with it. It turned out basically perfect. I just did exactly what they did. I was like, I looked at the ears. I'm like, okay, those are toruses. Looked at the hair. I'm like, okay, that's a curve that they just expanded. Or I think I literally just made it a cylinder. And then I think they made a collar, which I replicated, but then I, like, made, like, a gross body for him. And then for some reason, I didn't give him normal hands. I gave him these, like, fucked up claws. But I like them. And I gave him pants and shoes. Just made it as amateurish and shitty as possible. There's, like, there's N-gons, like, all over this model. It's so bad. I did such a bad job, but I'm so proud of it. Literally, like, I posted about it on Twitter as a joke, and a friend of mine who is a much better modeler was like, oh, you could probably solve those N-gons by, like, putting a seam here and stuff like that. And I was like, oh shit, that's really good advice, thank you. But full disclosure, I'm literally being paid to make this shitty on purpose. And he's like, what? That's awesome. It's so cool. N-gon. Sorry, so N-gon is, okay, so in 3D modeling, you know that everything's made of polygons, probably. Most 3D models nowadays are made of polygons and smoothed in some way. All polygons are tries. They're 3-point triangles. In most 3D modeling software, those are 2 triangles shoved together to make a quadrilateral, 4 points of a model. If any surface of a polygon is 3 points or 4 points, the computer's fine with them. If it's any more than that, it confuses a computer. So if you have a pentagon with no lines drawn across it or anything like that, every renderer will go like, I don't know, and it'll look kind of weird and fucked up. So when you learn modeling and computer graphics stuff, you just learn to stay away from n-gons because it's bad. Short answer is an n-gon is a polygon with more than 4 sides. But the short answer, the longer answer is an n-gon is a thing that the computer doesn't understand what to do with, so it looks bad, so you stay away from them. Case in point, this model's bad, so I did not pay attention to that very closely. Oh, there's a special guy. There's my Joshua. Using the Tim and Eric, or no, this might have just been from On Cinema, the Tim Heidecker's son. But the original audio post that Wayne posted on Tumblr used this image, so I thought just this baby's face on a computer was funny. So that's why I did that. I probably have those animations somewhere. I did that part in my... I have some crazy angles of the gameplay controller. Here she is. I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy that, after making this, a bunch of other... I was thinking, no, I should keep the original model. You know, that's, I was thinking, should I release it for people's benefit? And, that'd be funny. But I was like, no, I'll keep it for myself. That'll be a secret. And then, a bunch of people who are much better modelers than I am went and just made better versions of it. Which is fucking awesome. I was just like, oh, fuck, I never need to release this. Everyone else's is so much better than mine. I'm so proud. There's Game Plan 3. There's the telephone with the cash register from Spanton. Oh yeah, I just made these. I did some before my Maya license met its untimely demise. This is a bit of a spoiler, but Wayne has a visual of the life coins in the gnome video for the final edit. And it didn't need to be this well rendered, but I made a very, very well rendered turnaround of it. And here's one frame of it. That's him. So there's a whole turnaround of that that's almost HD. Can't show that, can't show that, can't show that. What else can I show? I got a lot of other just random stuff. I've got a lot of other good animations and stuff like that, but they don't need explaining or anything, right? Oh, excuse me. I think that's all I wanted to show, really. If anyone, I don't know, does anybody else have anything they want to ask? This can devolve into a general purpose Q&A stream. While we have this. This isn't right. Get it out of here. What's my favorite snack? That's a hard fucking question. One of them is goldfish. I just like things that don't taste that strong that I can just shove in my mouth ad infinitum. So goldfish, pretzels, tortilla chips, all sorts of things. Favorite thing to animate? I don't really have a favorite thing to animate. I don't know, characters? I think character animation is my favorite thing to do, for sure. I don't really like doing effects animation that much, but I'm okay at it. How are your dwarves doing? My dwarves I think they're okay. At least some of them are. Some of my fortresses have died tragically, but some of them are okay. What is the lecherous stone supposed to be? I'm so glad you asked. Uno momento. Let's just go into private
browsing, so you can't see anything. Computer. Steam. So Steam will definitely get caught. Shut up. I keep forgetting to turn on ad block in private browsing. I feel like such a dang fool. So Peter Gabriel has some of like the funniest music videos of all time. The one for Steam is really fucking funny and very horny. You'll have to look up Peter Gabriel Steam to hear the song, but this was made in the night. So Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer video is like one of my favorite music videos ever, and that was made like in the song came out in like 86, I think. So like that was in like the 80s, so it was a lot of stop motion. Steam, firmly in the 90s. It looks like this. A lot of CG. Fucking awesome. This video is so fucking chock full of like outrageous shit. Give me Steam and how to feel and make it real. Realize everything you see. And at one point, Peter Gabriel turns into a fucked up chair. Snakes and ladders, get it? There he is. He's a horny chair. And that's all you need to know. Let's scroll back up. That's what you're saying. What's something you wish you knew earlier about all of this? You mean like animation? I don't know. That's a hard question to answer, just because it's like I just think of... There's a couple of things that I'm definitely like, oh, I wish I knew about that, but they're just kind of small things. I feel like the dumbass solutions I took to do those things were helpful as like like practice, you know? Like every time I did something really tedious that I didn't have to was like character building. That's how I think of it. So I don't really think of things like, I don't know. Well, like right now I can't think of any examples of like, oh shit, I really wish I knew that sooner. Scrolling down. Got any particular art plans for the future? Nope. Keep drawing. I know it's not CG, but that makeup you did for Scorpy's New Year stream. Yep. I know how to do some makeup. I know how to my performance background. The two makeups that I can do basically, well, I can do just like nice, cute makeup sometimes with like blush and eyeshadow and everything. I can make myself look dead, like a spooky ghoul, and I can do a pretty good job of making myself look old, so I just did old makeup. What's the most challenging thing you had the most fun with that you've ever done? I don't, just in general, like, I think, can you make yourself look cute and dead? That's a tough ask. I'm not sure if I'm strong enough for that. I don't think I'm strong enough for that. Same. Scrolling back up. What did I just get asked? Mango the Pear asked, what's the most challenging thing you had fun with that you've ever done? I don't know. That's a good question. All the things I've done for Wayne were challenging in various capacities, but not nearly as challenging as, like, say, my thesis film I did back in college, which was, like, an entire year of my life spent. Where is that little guy from New Year's stream now? In my room, somewhere. Where are they? I wish I had a webcam. I've said this like the last 3 streams, but I wish I had one. I have a tiny, very small collection of clowns from Goodwill. I wish I had more, but that is one of my Goodwill clowns. Because we had the idea for the New Year's stream, and I was like, I kind of want to dress up as an old man and do like a storybook. Or no, Scorpy had the idea for a New Year's poem, and I was like, okay, that'd be great, like a really long, like absurdly long New Year's poem. And I was like, that'd be great because I want to dress up as an old man and do like a storybook thing.
But then Holly wanted to do some part of it, and I'm like, oh, that'd be great, but, like, Holly doesn't do anything on camera, so I was like, how could we do that? And she's like, do you just, like, make, like, a vessel for me to talk through, like a skull? And I was originally gonna, like, buy, like, an anatomical skull, because I'd just been meaning to buy one in the first place. But then I was like, what if I just made you a tiny clown that you spoke through, which was really good. A really shitty... I'd recommend getting a really cheap, shitty webcam. No. I refuse. If I get a webcam, it's gonna be a good one. Doesn't have to be amazing, but at least like a 1080p webcam. Get a broken cam that makes you green like Eris. Oh man, I wish I had like a room set up that would allow for me to look as like have like a ghoulish cam like Eris does. That'd be great. I don't have anywhere on my desk that I could put a webcam to give me that impression. He has his on like the fucking floor. I don't know how he does that. Would you say it's worth for someone to get After Effects if someone wanted to do VFX for fun? I think you should, if you have a way of getting it for free, absolutely. Paying for it is not worthwhile if you're just a hobbyist, I would say. You can find one. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Crab Nebular. I appreciate it. If you find a copy of After Effects that fell off a bus, that'd be good. I have like an old version of CS5 on my laptop, and like that can't do everything that new After Effects can, but it can still do a good amount, and like those are pretty easy to come by. Yes, you should find After Effects. I think even old versions of After Effects are really fun to play with. You can do a lot with them. If you have a free access, if your older brother has After Effects on their computer and you can go use it, go use that. It's fun to play around with. What's the source for the con guy on the motorcycle? It's literally just an image of that guy on the motorcycle. It's great. And then someone, when I was asking for more bosses, just suggested the con on the motorcycle, and I was like, that's great. The con. Any good resources for finding just textures? To be entirely honest, 90% of the textures I have found and used in all things I have ever made, 3D, 2D, professional, commercial, anything, is going to Google, looking up blank texture, and then putting a texture in there. If you want like specific textures, or like, I don't know, depending on like what you're doing, you could also go to like, because like one thing I like doing is using like video game textures for some things, and if you're familiar with Spriter's resource, they also just have a textures resource where they pull textures from video games. You could find all sorts of things there. But honestly, for the most part, Google. You just look it up. Okay. How long has it been? It's only been like 2 hours. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Ask more questions. I'll be back in just a second. Back, I know you. Now I have Steam by Peter Gabriel stuck in my head. Anyway. Any type of work art you haven't done yet but would like to try? More shading and rendering stuff. Not like a lot, but I'd like to learn a little bit more about that. I don't know. Like, there's all sorts of just various artistic things that I am aching to try or aching to do more of that I've done before. I just like doing shit. I just like keep finding things to try and do, and then I just keep doing them until someone stops me. Do I have any tips for beginning pixel artists? Oh god, that's such a hard question. Like, because my start to pixel art was doing like sprite recolors back in when I was a child. It was like going on to like spriting forums and spriting sites and stuff like that. It was like all sorts of sites for like Sonic sprites and stuff like that. It was a lot of Sonic recolors, mostly Sonic recolors. Early sprite comics and stuff like that. So like my experience is doing like recolors and edits and then kind of eventually settling in like, okay, I can kind of do pixel art now kind of style. So I think the basic bare bones of like editing sprites like is a good place to start, just so you can like put jigsaw pieces together. Like I used to do like Pokemon trainer edits where you just like, you know, take pieces of one Pokemon trainer, put them on a different one, because I really love the sprites in Pokemon. Basically like Pokemon like Gen 3 to 5, all those sprites are really, really good. So yeah, I mean, just have fun, do some edits. I feel like in terms of making like fully original pixel art, that kind of blends into like being an artist. So you have to understand pixels as a medium so that you can maneuver your artist mentality into that space, right? So that's my vague answer. Do I do traditional art? I draw with pencil. Not a lot of traditional art. I'm not very good at painting. I can kind of paint digitally sometimes. I want to try... I have like a whole box of pastels here that I barely have fucking used. I want to do more pastel art. I want to try more painting in real, but I don't have a huge desire to do it, but I do want to try it. So, but I do a lot of pencil drawing. That's my main mode of art forever. Any favorite sounds to hear in music? That's a wonderfully vague question. Horns. Generally, just horns. If you have horns in a thing, that automatically is like, oh. I'm a weird, deranged, sick freak that likes ska. I think ska is fucking awesome. Not all ska. Some ska is just bad. But I love just tooting horns all the time. Love that shit. Whether it's Miles Davis just kind of pleasantly blowing in a trumpet, or like fucking like whole sensational crazy shit. The trumpet. Exactly. This isn't a question, but some maniacs are putting together a list of every sample sound font in VST used in Pizza Tower that's like 90% done. I think Automod should let you drop a link. I don't think I have link restrictions in my chat. You should post that because I want to see that. Yeah, big band stuff's fucking awesome. Jazz fusion's fucking awesome. City pop has a lot of horns in it. Ska has a lot of horns. Thank you. Oh, damn. Oh, this is really thorough. Oh, this rules. That's fucking cool. Yeah, this shit, I love this shit. Like figuring out what VSTs they use and everything like that. Understandably, a lot of WarioWare 4. Burst Stickin' by the Beastie Boys? Oh, that's awesome. Seeing a good amount of... A lot of Kirby. I'm seeing a lot more Kirby sound fonts than I was expecting, which is good. There was a song that had more overt Beastie Boys sampling that they had to remove. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that sucks. Are you comfortable and willing to show any of your older work that you don't think are up to snuff? I don't think any of that exists on this computer. Some of it's on my YouTube channel. You can just go to my YouTube channel, look at the oldest videos, you'll see some of them. There's a Drill Dozer sample? Yeah, Drill Dozer represent. Like and subscribe to my YouTube. Don't like and subscribe. You don't have to. My YouTube channel is for dumb bullshit. I used to post some animations that got a lot of attention back in the day. I've taken them off my channel for various reasons, so I have like a good number of subscribers that subscribed to me like over 10 years ago for, no, probably closer to just exactly 10 years ago for like some animations I made. And now I'm just uploading like dumb shit up there just because I think it's funny. If it's not a video effect, could you tell us how you became an old man? I thought it was your dad for a few seconds. Oh my god, no, my dad does not look like that. It's makeup, baby. So, I could talk about how to do old man makeup. Here, let me see if I can find a visual guide. Let me see. Old person makeup. This woman's thumbnail is pretty good. Let's look at this image. Switch over to that. This is good. So this is a YouTube thumbnail. This does a pretty good job. So the trick to old I can't believe this is what we're talking about now. You found a whole mega list? Oh shit! What? Oh, bro. What the fuck? Wow. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, I'm looking at that later. Thank you, RK. Anyway, can you do old man makeup like an I think you should leave? No, I can't. I don't want to be here anymore. So, this shows the broad example of it. So, here's the trick with old makeup. When you get older, your face starts sagging, and all the lines on your face start showing more and more wear. You have a lot of lines on your face. Even most of you watching this are probably in your mid-20s or younger. You have a lot of lines on your face that haven't fully developed yet, but you probably have dimples, you probably have some forehead creases, you probably have eyebrow creases and stuff like that. They exist on your face. They're not... Your skin is still taut, so they don't show up very well. But if you scrunch up your face, you can see where they lie better. So you put dark makeup into the specific creases, like your forehead wrinkles, the things here, eyes. I'm not good at doing crow's feet, so I don't do crow's feet very often. But this is easy. Do like a little bit of like sagging here. This is with a lot of blending, which is in itself hard to do. You have to just learn how to do it with makeup. So this is one part darkening the bags and lightening up the skin around it. And this is just a general art advice too. Like honestly, like if you're trying to get like really nice contrast on stuff like that, you have to put lighter stuff to make the darks pop better and then blend the darks out a little to give the impression of depth. And you can also gussy up your lips to make them look kind of older and shittier. And this person went the fucking extra mile and put like gross pockmarks all over themselves. But yeah, that's basically all there is to it. Just doing it and practicing it. By the way, here's the Lario image. Thank you for sharing the Lario image. Funniest thing I discovered was getting jump scared by the Crank That Steel drums in a Super Peach whatever DS video on Super Mario Bros. That's good. The Crank That Steel drums, I'm pretty sure is just a default FL Studio preset. There's where's that fucking video? Hang on, I have to find this video. Let me see if I can. Is it on YouTube? Oh no, I think it was on Twitter. Okay, no, it's a so people have a no, there's a TAS of it. Ah, fuck, I can't find it. So Crank That by Soldier Boy is made entirely in FL Studio. So people have speed runs for making Crank That. Here's one. Let's watch it. Let me switch over. Rusty iron pole? That's what I was looking for. Someone did a TAS of it. So you just see the FL Studio window, and then just like a bunch of shit just happens in this the course of like a second, and then all of a sudden Soulja Boy just appears. It's awesome. That was on Twitter though, so I can't find that fucking video. Damn. It was so fucking funny. Just just seeing like, here's my Soulja Boy TAS. It's such a fucking funny sentence. Why is 7 a.m. in this playlist? Actually, it's fine, but... Yeah, if I find it, I'll retweet it. But that was a while ago. What else? What else? There's a vid going around lately that Clint Eastwood is a barely modified loop on an Omnichord. I'd believe it. They probably had a very devil may care attitude about early Gorilla stuff. Opinion on YTPMV Elf? Oh, did you find it? Hang on a second. Did you find Soulja Boy TAS? No, this isn't it. Because the one that I saw was like instantaneous. It was like a second. Can someone link YTPMV Elf? Oh, did you find it? Oh, you did find it. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Fuck yes. Thank you, Latchcroc. Oh, that video is so fucking good. It's so fucking good. I'm retweeting that now. All right. Is YTPMV Elf the fucking the Jevil Deltarune song? The gay people? Or am I thinking of a different one? Yeah, there it is. I didn't know about this video until recently, until very recently, because someone made an edit where they took the original sound fonts that that song was made with, and then like fucked up the notes so it matched this video, and like I didn't recognize that it was like a fucking god tier joke because I hadn't seen this original video. It was fucking so smart. Gay people. Great vid. I don't know where that video is. I'm sorry to say. Not a question, but the stream made me want to do some shit in After Effects because it's been a few months. You're welcome. Have fun. Sound fonts are good. Some of them are good. Some of them are definitely too compressed to be like good, but like also for some sounds it doesn't matter how compressed it is, or you can use the compression to your advantage, right? Have you 100% Shadow the Hedgehog? Nope. Don't want to. Like the SM64 sound font, I use that in Spamton. Hang on a second. one of my songs for Spamton. I wish I had Logic on this computer so I could actually show my project files, but nope. That's on my laptop, which has no streaming potential. Your videos. Oh man, come on. It's missing persons. Go here. The keys in this song. So this arpeggio, or this like weird kind of arpeggio program, is like that keyboard sound. It's like two sounds mixed up on each other. It's like one E piano sound and then the E piano from Mario 64. The fucking Dire Docs. So that's, you can use Mario 64 sound font. Anything. I love it. Favorite sound fonts, I think Mario 64 sound font's fucking awesome. Mainly because the sound font I has like every sound in Mario 64, which is kind of hard for organizing, but also very funny because I can just use Mario woof in like anything. What other sound fonts are good? Animal Crossing is fucking good. Like Animal Crossing Original has a really good sound font. A lot of the SNES ones are pretty good, like Chrono Trigger. Kingdom Hearts 1, interestingly, is sequenced audio. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is as well, but someone found and uploaded like a ton of the sound fonts from Kingdom Hearts 1. And Kingdom Hearts 1 is like big enough, it was too small to use real compressed audio, but it's big enough that every single song had its own sound font. So there's a sound font for every song in Kingdom Hearts 1, and I have most of them on my computer. And those are fun to sort through because those are actually like pretty good quality and like very good like balance of stuff. What song is this? This is from Origami King. This is the Volumental Battle from Origami King. It's like the turtles and the little elemental dudes. My White Whale is a proper rip of the samples used for the Final Fantasy Tactics. That'd be good. I bought a Discman at a thrift store recently. What CD should I listen to on it? Be Not Nobody by Vanessa Carlton. Next question. How do you find those? I don't remember how I found them. I think a friend showed them to me, and it was in like a fucking mega folder. And some of them were broken, but all the ones I had, I just stole. Oh, original Kingdom Hearts 2, He is a Pirate is like fucking all-time fucking song of video game. Yoko Shimomori loved using the Roland Sound Canvas. Yeah, no, the Roland Sound Canvas, that's not tech, I don't know, does that count as a sound font? That's like a sound library. That's a sound canvas. Either way, the Roland Sound Canvas, I have that. It's not the best Roland thing ever, but you can find it on the internet for free very easily, and that's got like a fucking fuckload of sounds in it. You can use that shit for everything if you wanted to. Is there a Katamari sound factor library? I think the Katamari sounds are just made. I don't think there's a sound font for them. Oh, that's a shame, arcade. Has someone ripped the MIDIs from Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2? I don't know if someone's ripped the MIDIs. I have to assume those are out there somewhere, but I have the sound fonts for most of 1. I'd like to find the ones for 2. What's your favorite games from the GameCube, PS2, Xbox era? Oh, Christ. I didn't have an Xbox as a kid. I went to a friend's house and played a lot of Halo. That was a cherished memory. I had a GameCube, and then I got a PS2 very late. I got a PS2 Slim in like 2006 or 7, I want to say. So basically, singularly, so I could play Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is up there as like one of my favorite games, unfortunately, ever. Just a cherished gaming memory. So I guess that leaves favorite GameCube games, and Mario Sunshine's good. Luigi Mansion's alright. Pikmin's good. I guess Thousand Year Door, honestly. Thousand Year Door is probably one of the best. I was using the old version of FL Studio for the longest time because of the sound font player, because of Direct Wave or what. That's, yeah. I don't know anything about FL Studio. I think I have a version of Ableton somewhere that I'm thinking of learning how to use. How about DS games? Ghost Trick, all-time winner. Soul Silver is good too. I like, I like the Gen 2 remakes of Pokemon, but I don't like them as much as I like the original Gen 2. Ghost Trick, all-time game. Phoenix Wright games are great, even though they were all for Game Boy originally. Or some of them were. What other DS games are there? Missile. I'm like forgetting every single DS game ever made. I don't know. Ghost Trick's a good one. Oh, EVA. I love Elite Beat Agents. I lost my copy of it. I used to have it, and I don't have it anymore, which makes me sad. Mario Party. I've never touched Mario Party DS. I practically forgot that was a game. I never played Scribblenauts on DS, and I didn't get into Picross until, like, Switch, honestly. I'd, like, seen Picross, I'm like, that looks hard, and then I, like, started playing it on Switch, I'm like, oh, this is the best fucking game ever made. Chibi Robo Park Patrol. That is a game. I've definitely never touched it. I think the innate failing of DS... I mean, obviously, you can play Mario Party DS with friends. Did you need a cart to play with other friends, or could you just do download play like Mario Kart DS? Because download play on Mario Kart DS was a very fucking smart move. Sonic Rush. Sonic Chronicles Dark Brotherhood, everyone's favorite video game. Mario Party DS only had download play. Oh, okay, that's good. See, that makes sense. That probably would have been very fun. What kind of games do you want to play? That's not terribly different than the video games I do play. I just play what I want to play. Most recently, Pizza Tower. And I got Returnal. Returnal was very fun. It barely fucking runs on my computer. I have literally the minimum fucking graphic card. Like, I have a 1060, so I have to turn everything on low, and even then it just, like, ugh, barely runs. But it's a really fun game. Will you wear wigs? Maybe. Oh, Tui was also... I remember liking Tui a lot, but I don't know if it's still good. That's a real humdinger of a question. Since I'm on a mission to play every Sonic game ever made, I gotta ask, what's your favorite and least favorite Sonic game? Favorite is probably Sonic Adventure 2. I don't know if it's the best Sonic game per se, but it is my favorite. Worst Sonic game. Damn, dude, there's a lot of bad Sonic games out there. It's really just a matter of opinion. My least favorite Sonic game, man. It's all kind of a wash. It's also hard to tell if, like... Black Knight? I don't remember how far I got in Black Knight before I was like, oh, fuck this. I like, rented it, and I was like, yeah, I'll check this out, and then, like, never mind. Hey, do you know what the top 3 DS games on Metacritic are? GTA Chinatown Wars, Flipnote Studio, Chrono Trigger? What? How? What the fuck? That's insane. No, Sonic Blast is alright. Sonic Blast is not a good, like, not a great game, but I still like it. Oh, Sonic Shuffle. Ooh, you're right. I think it might be Sonic Shuffle. Do you have favorite arcade games? I don't know. I've never been... Here's the thing. I'm not very good at video games. I think I've gotten better recently, but, like, whenever I go to an arcade and play a game, I always fail at it. Unless they have free play on. Which I have a very clear memory of. I can't remember where it was, but I went to an arcade one time that had a free play as a special event, and I, like, beat Metal Slug 3 with some kid that I never met, and, like, we didn't even talk to each other. We just beat Metal Slug 3 together. It was a cherished experience that I still remember to this very day. So, yeah. The only 2 Sonic games I played that made me miserable were 06 and Spinball. I have a fucked up love of Spinball. because it's so fucked up. And then Sonic 06 is just like, it's like The Room for movies, you know? It's just kind of like, it's beloved because of how fucking absolutely obscenely terrible it is. Blast is the Game Gear equivalent of a 3D Blast. That's, yeah, a 3D Blast is, yeah. Since I heard EBA, do you have any rhythm games in this game? I'm not good at rhythm games. I played, I think the last rhythm... No, I played Metal Hellsinger, which was fun, and I was not good at it. But it was fun. I played Rhythm Heaven. I think Rhythm Heaven is, like, one of the all-time rhythm games. I haven't even played the older ones, but I played Rhythm Heaven Fever, and I'm like, this game is fucking awesome. And Guitar Hero, obviously. Love Guitar Hero. I haven't played it in a fucking long while. I play real instruments more than I play any rhythm games. Sonic and the Secret Rings is really good. I don't know about that. I wouldn't say really good. It was all right. How'd you make Century Egg on your standby screen? We went over that earlier. You can watch the VOD. Sorry. Favorite weird game controllers? DK bongos are cherished. I feel like I could answer that question better if you gave me more time, but I can't think of anything right now. Make-beliefs were born. Myths and minds were formed. Question all that's known. Legends blurred and torn. I can't believe I remember that. I'm so fucked. I like the part of my brain that thinks like Crush 40 is cool will like never leave. You know how like they say that like there's like a certain sweet spot in pubescence, like somewhere in the 11 to 14 range where like a switch in your brain flicks, and then the stuff that you think is cool at that exact moment in your life will always be cool to you for as long as you live. That's like the period that like Sonic, I think, was most into my brain. Yeah, you recognize Space Fisherman. This game is really good music. I've like only watched someone play a little bit of it, and then it was like, oh shit, a Soichi Terada game I never fucking heard of. This music's great. Any solid plans for the sequel to Sonic Underground Watches? Not yet. I haven't thought of anything that really, like, appeals to me. I don't think we're ever going to find anything like Sonic Underground. I don't think anything else like Sonic Underground exists. I did want to watch the Transformers 1986 movie. I don't know how I think I could get away with that because it's on YouTube. I don't know. It would almost certainly get muted because there's a lot of copyrighted music in there. But we could try that, but that's also like a genuine appreciation for that movie because it's bad but also very good at parts. The Lions did the theme song for that movie. Yeah, I love the fucking Lions cover. Transformers! So good. You only listen to the soundtrack for it? That's all you need. The soundtrack's fucking amazing. I love the soundtrack. Also, the soundtrack, it's a bunch of, like, licensed songs, including Dare to Be Stupid by Weird Al, which is an interesting one. And all the score was done by Vince DiCola, and it's fucking amazing. I love Vince DiCola's score to that fucking movie. Do you think they should bring back Bionicle? I mean, I would like it if they did. But when they rebooted Bionicle back in, like, 2008 or whatever, it was mid, in my opinion. I would love it if they like, went back to the root and successfully identified what everyone liked about Bionicle and went back and made Bionicle again. That'd be fucking awesome. But that's a pipe dream. They're never going to do that. What are your thoughts on making a streamer Discord? I have basically no interest in doing it. I mean, I have some... I shouldn't lie. That's a lie. I do have some interest in doing it. I think it would be cool. But I feel like streamer Discord is an investment that I do not want to make at this point in time. Because... here's what would happen. I would make it. It'd be fun. We'd all have a good amount of time. I would get overwhelmed by having a new thing to manage, and then I would not be very present, and then it would become one of those Discords that only a few people talk in and doesn't go anywhere. So I'm just, you know, I'm cutting that issue off before it even starts. I'm just not starting one. Unless I have a good reason to start one. If there's one where it's like, oh, well, we can come into a Discord and then discuss X, and then that's an ongoing thing. You know, like the RTVS Fight Zone. You know, they all talk about fighting games in there. I don't play fighting games, but, you know, if that's like a specific use case for a Discord server that people can use and communicate, that's fun, you know. Art-centric Discord could be fun. I guess so. I wouldn't know what to do with it, though. I'm not extremely present in other Discords. I'm I shouldn't say antisocial person, but I'm not an exceptionally social person. I usually don't have a reason to go outside of my usual range of people I talk to, even if it's for good reason. I just kind of like talking to people over Discord. I don't really do it unless I have a good reason to. Is the black part of the sprite in the BRB starting screen nose or sunglasses? Those are his sunglasses. I've never visualized that as a nose. Looking at that as a nose, that's kind of cute. Yeah, I like that. No, it's his sunglasses. Hang on, let me find a picture of Toffee. I have some of his face models that I'm drawing for the game. Hang on a second. Toffee is just a cool rabbit with sunglasses. Let me find. He looks like this. This is him. These little sunglasses, and he wears a cool cloak. And he has all sorts of different faces he can make. I have to turn these into sprites eventually. So those are his sunglasses from the side. Kind of hard to see from this angle. It might be a little bit more obvious on the next iteration of him, but not by much. I don't know. Find anything cool in the CSP store? I never use the CSP store. I don't think I've touched it. I've gotten assets from it, like someone's like, hey, here's a cool pen. I'm like, oh, I'll go download that, and then I download it. I've never really gone out of my way on the CSP store. I just like I said earlier, like traditional art, I basically only use pencils and like charcoal and stuff like that. So I'm like, give me a very good looking solid black line that functions as both a pencil and a marker, and I'm set. That's all I'll use, even if it's better to use other stuff. That's just what I use. Charcoal is fun. I wish I had more of it. I haven't used it in a while. I have like a fucking, there's not enough time in the dang day to do everything you want, right? And like, one thing I want to do is I could potentially see an outcome where I like end up nearer to an art studio. I'm not really near anything right now at this point in time, distance-wise. If I were to move and be closer to like an art studio where they have like life drawing classes and I had the time and money to do it, I would totally do more of those. I did a lot of life drawing back in college, and that was like so integral to growth as an artist. And that was just in like a tiny sketchbook with a pencil. So like, to be able to like bring like a big huge canvas with charcoal and be able to do like really big strokes with that, I feel like that's a lot of fun. I would want to do that. Overdone question, what are your biggest inspirations? That's a hard question only because like I do a bunch of shit, like art, animation, music, and every one of those has like a different set of answers. So I don't know. That's a good story. A good way to get back at her. I'm glad I never had an art teacher like completely kill my desire for art. I didn't actually take that many art classes. I only took art classes after I'd gotten into college for an art major. And even then, no one really beat it out of me. What genres do you want to compose but don't have a ton of opportunities or reasons to explore? That's a good question. I think like it's less opportunities and reason, and it's more skill level. Like, I'm really comfortable with writing video game music and kind of like studio music, both of which I think are interlinked in the respect that you're not supposed to think about them very much. I think my strength as a composer is writing music that you never think about, and once it's gone, you barely remember what it was, but still sounds nice. That's just what I'm good at. I'm good at making very passive but like interesting music. I'm not good at making like songs like here's lyrics and a good. I mean, I can write a song because, you know, like pop music is kind of straightforward. There's only like a couple of chords that juggle, but there's a lot of stuff that like I want to do, but I don't really have the skill level for it. Like getting slightly better at like jazz composition would be good, but that requires a lot of skill set and also practicing jazz piano, which is something that I kind of sort of have done, but not a ton of. I'd like to experiment with playing with more instruments, but I really only know how to play like 2 right now. So there's a lot of things keeping me back from potential future opportunities, but nothing that's like out of the possibility, you know? How was it being an art major? My specific set of circumstances was very nice. I learned a lot and I had a great time at a program. I have heard countless stories of people at dog shit art majors who fucking hated it. So I can't say, yeah, it's great, go do it. I would say go to trade school. Learn something interesting. Learn something worthwhile that gets you money and just do art for fun on the side. Find a community college and do art classes there, you know? My time as an art major was pretty good, I would say. That ambient music type. I would like to write more. That's a good question. That's a good point. I would like to write more ambient music. I have like the skill set to write ambient music, but I've never really tried because I haven't learned a lot. I'm really good at composing. I'm not really good, but I'm pretty good at composing and like writing music, but I'm not incredibly good at mixing and producing. I'm okay at it, but I want to get better. So I want to practice more like techniques and methods so that I can get like kind of fun ambient music. That'd be good. Yeah, that's the other problem with practicing instruments in real life is that they're very fucking loud. There's a scant few instruments you can get away with practicing quietly, like bass, which is what I practice, and that's good. I have a saxophone that belongs to a friend, but he lent it to me, and that thing is loud as fuck. I can only play it when I'm really like home alone, so it's good. The quality, usefulness, and enjoyment of your degree normally relies on where you go and who's teaching you. That is very true. And the important thing about that is the degree is not the important part. The degree is the important part if you want to be an art teacher. That is basically the only place where an art degree will really truly matter. The experience and what you can produce and how you work with other people is the actual metric that will determine if you're going to successfully work as an artist. And IMO. Making music live scares me because I'm bad at timing. I am too, honestly. I've never played... Actually, no, that's not true. I've played instruments live. I'm not extremely good at playing instruments live. I've sang a lot live. I've sang in choir a whole bunch. I'm like really good at singing harmony. I haven't done that in so long. I miss that. So I have no qualms about singing live because I can do that really well. But like playing instruments live is really stressful. It's just like, oh, fuck. Were you actually playing sax for the Samson stuff? No, that was samples. I wish I was that good at sax. That'd be fucking awesome. Those were loops that I got from Looperman. Did you guys actually get snow? What, in California? No. It did hail a little bit here a few days ago. But I didn't see it. I just heard it from a friend. I stopped playing drums because I live in a house with 4 other people constantly. Yeah, drums is basically impossible. My brother got drums when he was kind of younger, and then he just never found an opportunity to practice, and the drums just kind of sat there. Weird thing that convinced me the world is small. I went to the Soundless and Pizza Tower dock looking for the pump up bass, went to the other sounds in the same Vox set and recognized another noise in another song. Looked for the song again, found the covers by Moop. Oh, wow. Small world. If you're already good at self-motivation and self-regulation art, then I wouldn't recommend going to art school. That's a very good point. If you if you're very comfortable doing art, and you really just like want to learn more, art school is probably not the best thing for you. If you could find a specific class at like a community college, or like say that you do art but you really want to learn ceramics, you can go to a community college that has a ceramics class and like pay for doing a ceramics class for like a semester or 2. That, you know, that's good for you. If you're looking for like, well, I want to learn a bunch of stuff, and then like throwing yourself into an art program, you might not get anything out of it that you really want to get out of it. Yeah. Looperman is great. Looperman is full of like mostly dog shit. It's mostly just like, here's a sick loop I made in GarageBand. Let me know if you use it. And it's like awful. But there's a couple of people that are like actual musicians that are just uploading like unused loops and samples to that site. That's like a fucking gold mine when you actually strike gold. All those sax samples are from one guy. I think his name is Slap Johnson in all caps. So Slap Johnson is the dark horse of the Spampton tracks. He has a lot of really good sax tracks that I've stolen. I say stolen, but he put them up on a free website for free use. So, and then there's a couple of really good guitarists and drummers that I've found on there too, and a couple of good like vocalists for doing vox and stuff like that. Either way, if you want to look for fun samples, I suggest going to Looperman, starting by most downloaded, and then just like scrolling through and just finding fucking whatever. I enjoyed choir a lot, but I decided to stop because a bunch of kids fainted on performance night in our town's theater. What the hell? How did that happen? That's crazy. That would certainly put anyone off of doing performance stuff. That's wild. Did you hear about Google using AI for sample snitching? Nope. That sounds like a very dark future. Slap Johnson does a very classic jazz musician, Pharoah Sanders type. Yeah. It's a good name. He does, I think he's British. He just does like a lot of like sax for tracks, and so he just has a bunch of different types of sax styles. How long do you think 11 Labs will last? I saw a video of a person hacking to their bank account on the phone using 11 Labs code. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. Like, it's just like, it's very quickly approaching the point where like this stuff is actually legitimately causing trouble. So it'll be very interesting. I don't know. I feel like there's a potential future where someone does something actually like of like legitimate troublemaking, and it causes like actual regulation to be enforced. I feel like much more likely it's going to turn into some kind of copyright battle, and then like Disney is going to be the sole. They're going to like turn it into like, oh, it's not, oh, you're using my voice for doing a thing. It's, oh, you're using this character's voice that we own to do a bad thing. Because I feel like pretty much anyone can see through like, oh, I made a politician say something dumb in 11 Labs and stuff like that, right? But like, I feel like identity theft stuff like that is probably going to be common. I don't know how they're going to counter it. Either way, yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't think it'll be stopped entirely because the genie's kind of out of the bottle already, but like, it's for sure going to go through some interesting trouble in the next 5 years or so. If we walked off stage, we were told we weren't allowed back on stage, and it got drilled into us to stay on stage no matter what, which resulted in a bunch of the other 10-year-olds fainting under the lights. Holy shit! That's insane! God, that's so fucking wild. Can you imagine just like how many people have had like an artistic urge and like desire to create or perform or do something like that just completely 100% snuffed by people like that? Makes me sad. Oh man, I've been talking for almost an hour. It's good, I'm having fun. I'm glad that people are sticking around. I would like to do art stuff, but I feel like it's hard to crack into, especially because you put a kind of taboo in your mind. Well, here's the thing. Why do you want to do art? Do you want to do art to like get attention and be popular, or do you just want to do art because you just want to try it and be good at it? Here's the thing. You can draw and practice art and never show a single other living soul what you do, but still get personal enjoyment out of it, right? So like, I think if you want to get into art, you should be thinking about what you want to do. And the reason could just be as simple as, I want to try it. And you can just try it, see if it's for you, and maybe you'll like it and you'll keep doing it, you know? I feel like the idea of like cracking into it or like really like, oh, I want to develop my skill is really only like if you want to do it for a living, in which case I would not recommend doing art for a living, flat out. just don't do it. Do something useful. Did you already talk about After Effects? Yes, I did. We went through a big After Effects tutorial for this screen and a couple of other things. But it'll be on the VOD. You can watch it. I was pretty thorough. You want to make dragons. Exactly. Do you worry too much about the final product? Yeah. I mean, that's a reasonable concern. There's just a lot of, like, just in making art in general, there's a lot of stuff you have to internalize where it's like, I may not be entirely happy with the final product, or the final product is not going to match what I see in my brain because you haven't developed the skills yet to match what you see. And as soon as you develop the skills that get closer to them, by that point, your internal eye has already gotten better, that you can visualize better stuff that you also cannot draw anymore. So that kind of race will always be happening. So you're sort of like always like, oh, kind of happy with it, but never quite totally happy with it. Sometimes you can be totally happy with a piece. That's great when it happens. But like, for the most part, it's like you're going to be chasing that sort of like, oh, I still feel like it's been years and years and I still feel like I can't draw what I really want to draw. But then if you look at it objectively, you'll realize that you've improved if you've been consistently working on something. It's just harder for you to see that progress if you're the one inundated to it, right? So, all sorts of things. Yeah, you found another article because it happened again. Holy shit, is that the one choir teacher? That's fucking insane. Good God. Have I done sculpture? I've done ceramics and I've made a few sculptures. There's a cool little turtle in my room. Again, I wish I had a webcam. I would just show him. I'll find a picture of him somewhere. But he's a cool little dude. Yeah, yes, totally. Save your shit. Save everything you draw. It's super cool to have that, like, because I'm lucky in the respect that I have been drawing basically ever since I could hold a marker, and nobody convinced me to stop. Like, even when I was bad at art, even when I was drawing dumb shit, no one ever pushed me to stop or anything. I just kept doing it, and now I can draw pretty well because I've been doing it literally like my whole life, you know? And it's really cool to have all my drawings that I made as a kid, and like not only to see all the embarrassing dumb shit I was drawing back then, but also just be like, man, you can see like how good I got between this year and this year and this year and now, you know? Yeah, pottery and sculpture is annoying because it just takes up a lot of room, and you need like you unlike art and unlike a lot of things, you literally need a space to do pottery. You need a space to hold a wheel. You need a space to hold your clay. You need a space to hold fired objects. If you have a kiln, you need a kiln, you know? Even if you don't have a kiln and you go to use someone else's kiln, you need a place to put your fired stuff, right? So it's a lot. My dream would be to have like a big mansion where I could fit a bunch of ceramic stuff in and just do that whenever I want. It'd be so cool. Trying to learn how to draw anime, but it's so rough in the beginning. Yeah, just learning to draw anything's really rough in the beginning. I mean, it's the same thing with learning everything. It's learning how to play an instrument, learning how to draw, learning how to sing, learning how to do any of that. It's always rough at the beginning. You just have to keep at it. Glass blowing sounds really cool. I had my high school, crazy enough, had like a glass blowing thing, like a glass blowing class and studio. And I was like, I didn't have enough time to take it, but I really wanted to because it seems super cool. Feeling like you're burnt out on a 3D model. What's your feeling on burning out troubles? It's first of all, it's inevitable. So never feel like, oh, it sucks that I burnt. Oh no, I feel so bad. There's something wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with you. It happens to literally everyone. Oh, sorry. Hang on a second. Oh, sorry. Gotta stay on your toes. I feel like burnout is a thing that happens to every single person on Earth, no matter how good you are. And there's different forms of burnout. There's burnout where like, if you do something for a job, and like you just keep like if you lived in a crazy world where your job was to draw circles, you'd probably get really good at drawing circles and like think very stringently about the drawing circles part, but then like you probably wouldn't be able to draw other things, or you wouldn't be able to enjoy other things because of like a mental association with like oh, I'm not doing a good enough job, or like, oh, I'm seeing circles everywhere, right? You know, that's a very that's a very silly abstraction of the idea, but like, there's all sorts of different types of burnout. There's burnout like that, and then there's just kind of like creative burnout, where it's like, you can pick up a pen and then draw, but it's like, I can't see anything in my head. I can't like make any of my ideas happen, you know, and then you just kind of put your pencil down because you feel sad. And I think there's different ways of looking at it. And then there's also just like art block. Like art block is a different type of burnout, where it's like you're not low on energy or anything, but it's just like everything you draw is shitty. And when you have art block, I once had an art teacher who is not a good person. Just fucking terrible person, but he did have a good couple of nuggets of wisdom. And one that he said that I don't think is the most productive way to think of it, but I still kind of think of it in these terms, is like, when you have art block, you have like bad art that's clogging up your pipes. And you have to get the bad art out of your pipes so that the good art can come flushing through again, right? So like, when you feel art block, to a certain level, you do just kind of have to power through it. But you can also just, you know, part of countering art block and creative block is like taking breaks, honestly. Like if you're not feeling good about your stuff, just don't draw for a while, you know? Just take a load off. I've gone like months without drawing sometimes. It just happens. And then sometimes you just have to like keep powering through, and then eventually you start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, you know? And burnout looks different for different art forms. Yeah, it looks different for fucking everything. It looks different for playing instruments, looks different for writing, looks different for drawing, stuff like that. And sometimes you just gotta wait. Like sometimes there's no amount of like work or practice or regiment you can do that will make that better. Sometimes it's just a cycle in your brain that's just like, nope, this isn't happening right now. I need to take a break. Yeah, if you're doing art for enjoyment, don't force yourself to have fun, you know? Like, you're doing it because you want to have fun. If you're a poor sap like me that has chosen to do art for a myriad of reasons, then you kind of have to measure out that, you know, creative control. Yeah, it's nice if you're in a position as an artist where like clients are willing to wait out for stuff like that, but most times not really, honestly. And that's a reason why I don't do commission work almost ever, is because like I think it'd be fun and I think I'd be okay at it, but like if I can't get excited about a thing I want to do, I just don't do it. Like I have a hard time drawing it. Like I've done commissions before where it's like, oh, that sounds fun, and then like I get like halfway through it, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, but I said I would, so it's like, ah, shit. I'm glad I'm in a position where most of the paid work I've done recently has been stuff that I'm like very happy to do, or like, oh, that'll be a fun challenge, and then I do it. That's why I like working for Wayne. I've said this before, but Wayne is like one of the best people to do commissioned work for, because like he has like, whenever he has like a crazy idea, he like fully thinks of how he wants to do it, and he like will do everything in his power to communicate that to you, whether it's like shitty MS Paint drawings or describing it in very thorough detail. And basically everything I've ever done for him, like he'll say that and I'll be like, okay, yeah, I know what you want, and then I do it, and it's super fun. And I've worked with other people like that too. I had a client, I say a client, I just like, someone got me to animate a logo for them back during college, and it was like someone who like worked in my department, so it was like someone I'd like talked to and interacted with a whole bunch, and he was like, hey, he's like, does anyone want to do a logo for me for like $50? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And then I did it, and because he was also like, he wasn't a professional artist, but like he had like an artist background, he was like super specific about what he wanted. Like I animated the logo, and he's like, could you make it more like this? And like, I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, could you change the timing to make this part slower and this part faster? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And he's like, could you do more of that? Okay, yeah, sure. And then like, I went through like a bunch of different iterations, but his feedback was always like exactly what he wanted. And he just, you know, he just kind of wanted to see it. Like somebody's like, could you try this? Sure. I don't like that. Could you try this instead? But it was always like really specific. And even though I had to do like probably like 10 revisions, and like, I was like, oh, sure. It felt totally good. Yeah, Ashrab, your screens you did for Wayne are really cool. It's a very good effect. The Aladdin MS Paint picture is like my fucking favorite. That's what caused the burnout. Yeah, that's another problem, is just kind of like, you can't control how good your clients are at receiving art, right? It's just like, the problem is most people are not good at receiving art. That's a reason why, like, the job I'm going for is like a studio environment where, like, I just get like, all right, here's our new job, and then everyone has to do it together, you know? Which is also not good or not great, but like, it's, in my opinion, it's better than being the sole person managing interaction with a client, right? One thing that scares you about writing is getting this huge thing and giving it to someone and being like, what? Yeah, well, writing is... I also write. I'm not an amazing writer, but I'd consider myself an okay writer. And there's like... Writing is also... Writing is kind of different from pictures in the way that, like... if you want to get a bunch of stuff very fast, you just kind of have to, like, word dump a whole bunch of stuff. Like, my writing style is, like, word dumping a whole bunch of shit, and then, like, waiting for a while, coming back to it and being like, okay, most of this works. Let me change this, 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 and this. Leaving it, coming back. Okay, this is mostly good. Change this, this, and this. And then, you know, because that's on personal projects that I make, like scripts and dialogue and stuff like that for my own personal stuff. But if I'm making something for another person, they're probably going to have, like, an editor. You know, if it's like an editor, then they're supposed to be receiving a bunch of crappy shit, and they look at it and go, well, hold on, let's fix this, you know? It's kind of hard to write a thing and have, like, your first or second draft and then, like, show it to someone who's like, check this out. Unless they're, like, very open-minded and they understand the writing process, they're probably going to be like, what is this? You know? Oh, yeah, that's rough. I can only imagine, like, commission writing work. Sounds complicated. Yeah, that'd be the dream. That was kind of what I was doing for a while. Now I need a full-time job. I'll get one eventually. Right now I'm just kind of jumping between odd jobs and odd works. Oh. Yeah, sneaking up on about 3 hours. Do you escape from California rent yet? No, I'm stuck here, dude. I don't know if I'm... like, there's different outcomes of my future where I move states and hightail it out of here, but for the time being, I'm here, you know? What's Boarser? He's a boar that's a sorcerer. Most places, a lot of places are becoming California too. Arizona, Texas, Portland, Oregon. There's a lot of fucking... The problems in California are escaping. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. There's too many dang people here. Denver, definitely Denver. Yep, 100%. Yeah, well, Seattle's, like, being, like, fucking taken over by Amazon. I went there, like... How long ago? Like a year ago? I went there, like, a year ago, and it's, like... They're getting Amazoned up. It's crazy. So, I'm trying to make it work over here, but, like, if something... Like, if my life goes south, or, like, I just can't afford to live or do anything here, or, like, find a job or anything like that, I'll just fucking move to a different state. I'll just move to a different state where I have, like, a chance of buying a house and just work some trade, you know? And thankfully I have stuff like a car and a good family and stuff like that who loves me. So, like, I have a lot of good things in my favor that are like, yeah, I could totally just move and uproot and go somewhere else and it would probably work out, right? But, like, not true for everyone. But I have a feeling that for a lot of people, you probably could just uproot and it would work out. Mike's plumber art? Dude, not kidding. Like, I wouldn't mind it. Like, if I found, like, a good situation for being a plumber and it paid well, like, I wouldn't mind it. Well, I feel like the worst part of being a plumber would just be, like, the instinctive smell reaction, you know? Like, as comfortable as I've cleaned a lot of toilets, I've unclogged stuff before, but there's, like, a certain part of your brain that, like, if it smells something bad, it just goes, you know? That's hard to counter. I bet I could beat it out of me, but I've definitely thought about, like, what trades would I do, you know? Not related to anything. Do you have fighting movie recommendations like The Raid? Ooh, that's a great question. I'm coming up short on a lot of them because I can think of like a lot of like general fighting movies I've seen, but like I've been meaning to look more into like the Hong Kong kind of like 80s and 90s stuff. Eat Man is good. That's kind of new. Most things with Donnie Yen are like Donnie Yen's fucking amazing. Eat Man's really good. What else? A lot of the early Jackie Chans are good. Eep Man, IP Man. Sorry. Based on a real person named Eep Man. I've also thought about welding. I think learning to weld would be really, really good. Versus by Ryuhei Kutamura. That sounds good. I'll check that out. Rikio? I'll check that out too. Thanks for coming. Thank you all for coming. I think I'm going to stop soon, but I'm having fun talking to people. Kung Fu Hustle's good. I haven't seen that in a long time. I should watch Kung Fu Hustle again. This is from, I think it's from Tonemo Crisis because it's Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra. This song is called Snowboard with Wolves. And it is from Tonemo Crisis or Incredible Crisis by Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra. We were talking about horns earlier. I fucking love Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra. You think my voice is really relaxing? Thank you. I'm glad you think so. Ooh. Who's Stephen Chow? That name sounds familiar. Oh yeah, he did Kung Fu Hustle and oh, Shaolin Soccer is a fun one. I haven't seen that movie in a dog's age. But it's fun. He's done a lot of fun movies. Yeah, machines that spark are pretty scary. Ugh. This is a Belp question, but what are you having for dinner? That is a really good question. Shit, I don't know. I have leftover curry, but I had curry for dinner last night, so I'd be having the same dinner 2 nights in a row, which is not great. I can make pasta. I think I might just make pasta. I feel like my eating lifestyle is not very interesting. Did I eat my leftover pork chop? No, I did. Yeah, dang it. I made pork chops a few nights ago. It was really good. I made curry last night. It was really good. I was worried that I fucked it up. Actually, I kind of fucked up the meat, but I was more scared about the potatoes, so I cooked it a little longer than I should have, so the meat got kind of tough. But it still tastes good, so it's fine. And I always make curry in like huge fucking batches, so that'll last me like a fucking week. Favorite Belp wisdom? I don't know. There's been a long line of Belp wisdoms. Leftover salmon katsu. Oh man, katsu would be good. There's a pretty good katsu place. I say nearby, but like the nearest thing to me, I live so far away from everything that I have to go like at least 10 minutes to get anywhere food-wise. Before you are working on anything we'll see in the near future? That's a good question. Near future in relative terms, I'm working on a game. I was hoping I'd have it out by this year, but I'm starting to think unless I get like an insane burst of inspiration, I'm probably not going to have it ready this year. But I'm making a video game. It has this funny rabbit in it. It'll be out eventually. I'm making... What am I doing? I'm not really doing any short-term projects right now. Yeah, most of my things that I'm working on are very like long term. Most of the short term things I have are either like secret or like they just happen so fast. It's just like, I'm starting this. Okay, I'm done. Details of the genre. It is an RPG Maker game. That's about it. So it's just it's a weird, it started off as like a kind of, you know, because RPG Maker games are like kind of a staple of just kind of like low effort. I say low effort. I've made like a number of like, I actually minored in game programming back in college. So I've made like a number of like really small games in like Unity and Game Maker. So I'm kind of familiar with those programs, but I was like, I want to make a game maker, RPG Maker game, because it's like, that's like, you know, they say like restricting your tool set is like good for creativity. I was like, I want to make something just with RPG Maker, not go any bolder than that. So I was just thinking of like a really simple, straightforward game. And then I made Toffee at some point, and I was like, oh, that'd be a great main character. And then like the plot of it kind of came to me, and then like I had like this whole mash of inspirations that kind of felt like really concordant and weird. And I was like, what if I made that concordant weird attribute like the whole game? And then it kind of got, it steamrolled out of control and became this crazy thing that I've spent years just brainstorming and pre-producing. So I genuinely have no idea when it'll be out, because it'll be out when I am ready to call it done. But I'm very excited for it. I hope people like it. I don't know if people will, but I hope people do. I'm going to release it for free. So it'll show up one day, and then you can play it for free. Besides Sonic, any good Sega Genesis games you recommend? I never had a Genesis. My cousin had the Genesis that I would go over to his house and play, so I don't know that many other Genesis games. There's man, there's a lot of decent Genesis games. I cannot think of any right now. Have you heard of GST Channel? They do amazingly edited 10-minute mixes. Yes, prog rock. No, I've never heard of this. That was cool. I will check it out. Thank you. I hope it'll be good whenever it comes out. I don't know. Alien Soldier and Gunstar. Oh, Gunstar Heroes is good. You're right. I've never heard of Alien Soldier, but I bet it's good. Do I have a favorite console or console generation? Not particularly. I don't know why. I just don't. Nostalgia says GameCube, but also, like, the GameCube has its shortcomings. I feel like there's not an answer for that doesn't have, like, a personal bias. But it is a favorite, right? So, like, I don't know. I guess GameCube, PS2 just basically out of nostalgia. What's your favorite shape of pasta? Honestly, spaghetti. I feel like all the other ones are too hard to eat. Not hard to eat, but, like, too much. Like, penne good. I like penne, but, like, also, like, I have a hard time eating it with, like, a fork. So it's, like, you have to, like, spear it at a certain angle or it breaks apart. Bow tie pasta just is, like, a weird mouthfeel. So usually just spaghetti. Spirally ones are really hard to stab. I mean, they're fun, but, like, they're so hard to stab. Also, I associate spiral pasta with, like, really bad pasta that you'd get at, like, a hometown buffet, right? That's what spiral pasta is in my brain, so I just automatically don't like it. The mouthfeel's good, but the fact that it's hard to spear is not good. Do you think there'll be more Animators Corner? I would love to do another Artist Corner, but like I said, there's nothing like Sonic Underground. It would be very hard to find something like Sonic Underground, or even something worthy of as much discussion as Sonic Underground. So, I don't know. So, if I figure something out, I'll absolutely do another one, but for the time being, I'm expanding my options. I'm looking. Angel Hair is also good. What's my favorite thing to say? I don't know. Sorry, I can't think of a joke. Someone on YouTube did a good mashup of Boulevard and Broken Dreams and Chow Transporter? Wait, like... Okay, I can kind of hear that. Okay. I can kind of hear that in my brain. That's another thing. I just love doing mashups. I've done so many dumb mashups, and I just get ideas for dumb mashups all the time. So I just love hearing stuff like that. Like my artist corner of Yu-Gi-Oh would be funny. Oh, the later seasons. That's an idea. I don't have a lot of like personal history with Yu-Gi-Oh later seasons, but that would probably be a good like contender for like what the fuck are they doing? But like I don't know. I know, RK. I know. Will we see another DJ Coops D? Pulling back the curtain, if I ever do something like that again, it will not be DJ Coops D. I'm gonna make up a new name and just do a new set. The idea is it'll just be constantly leapfrogging terrible DJs. Just got home. How's it going? It's been good. We've had a nice stream of talking about dumb shit. I'm about to end soon, but thank you for showing up. The VOD will be here. DJ Coops E! No. I want to do more mashup stuff and like YTPMV kind of stuff. I'm good at mashups because those just kind of happen in my brain. Mashups are fun because it's just like musical puzzle pieces. You just like listen to something and be like, wait a minute. Does this? And then you try it and it's like, oh yeah, it does. And then you just jam them together. My secret ability that I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm proud of it, but something that just like keeps showing its face is like, I'm really good at like mentally, I'm not incredibly good at rhythm. Like I'm okay at it, but like, I don't have it, like I can keep up a rhythm for a little bit, but I eventually lose it. I'm pretty good at staying on tempo, but not great. I have an unnatural ability to hear a song and be like, this is the same BPM as this other song. And then I look at the other song and I'm fucking right. That's happened to me with like, let's see, what did that happen to me first with? It happened to me first with, I was listening to the Tem Shop theme from Undertale. You know, and I was like, why do I hear rapping over this? And I searched the depths of my memory and I'm like, wait a minute. And then I listened to X Gon Give It To You and I was like, oh, this is the same BPM. And then I put them over each other. Yeah, and then I did that video a few months ago with that Sonic song. And then the other one I did was a different one where I was like, why do I hear rapping over this? Was listening to Professor Elm's laboratory theme from Gold and Silver. Like do 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 do, you know that one, and I was like 665 tongues of atomic penetration. Oh, okay, wait a minute, and then I put fucking Tachyon over it, and I was like, oh yeah, that works, and that started an entire just sequence of I don't know what came over me, but like I keep trying to find Death Grips mashups with Pokemon Gold and Silver songs. I don't know. There's some bug in my brain. It won't leave me alone. I have to make at least like 4 more before it leaves me. Mashups are fun. I have a lot of other ones that are just like drifting across. Most of them are on my SoundCloud actually, I think. But those are not like I wish I had like Neil Cicerega's ability for it. Like, the Mouth albums are, like, some of the fucking best mashup content ever. It's so fucking good. Like, the most recent Mouth album, Mouth Dreams, is, like, not really everyone's favorite, but that one had a mashup that was, like, it hit me so fucking hard the first time I listened to it. I was like, no fucking way, dude. It was the one with Moving Out by Billy Joel with Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold. So you hear, like, bow, Nightmare! I was like, oh my fucking god, he did it! Like, it fits perfectly. What the fuck? Mouth Dreams is really good. Mouth Dreams is really good on a first listen. It's less good on successive listens, I would say. There's fewer amazing songs on Mouth Dreams. The ones that are good are good. Baby Train's great. Do I post those anywhere? Yeah, they're on my SoundCloud. Hang on. Let me find my SoundCloud. I think it's just my name. Yeah, here I am. There we go. Follow me or don't. I don't upload stuff there very often, but you can see some stuff. Oh, the Fireflies one was good. Yeah, it was good because I listened to it live, but I also downloaded I downloaded the album at the same time, so I was looking at the track lists as they were coming up and like seeing ones that were like, I wonder what that is. Like I remember when Mouth Moods came out, seeing like, what is ACVC, and then hearing fucking Back in Black over 1,000 Miles. It's like, holy shit. Do you feel a sense of kinship with Stimpy? No. I don't. Stimpy is actually, none of you are allowed to call me this. Stimpy was like an old nickname I had back in like high school. So there are still people who like called me Stimpy. None of that had any kinship with Stimpy from Ren and Stimpy. But, you know, I just think of Stimpy as like a nickname that I once had, but I don't have anymore. Mouth Dreams has more jokes to the banger. Yeah, it's more jokes on the jokes to bangers ratio. That's a very good way to put it. Which makes Mouth Dreams really good for a first listen, and then successive listens is like you just want to play the songs that are good that are on the album. Whereas like basically all the other albums are a much better mix of listenable songs versus jokes. Like I think about like which one is the one that has the it's like it's a mashup with like, I think it's on the first one. I think it's on Mouth Sounds, where it's like the mashup of Full House theme. It's a mashup of the Full House theme and Smash Mouth, and then it transitions to that Alanis Morissette song, but only like the vocals of it, and then the Full House theme comes back on. And then the song just kind of spirals off into madness, and then it ends with like every single network logo at the very end. Just like 20 full seconds of network outros. Oh, so good. Yes, MC Ride. I said this, like the Death Grips Gold and Silver mashups are like a brain virus that's stuck in my brain that I need to excise by making more of them. There's a tune he played exactly once during a charity Minecraft raid that's absolutely genius, and it's messed up. It doesn't have an actual official release. Oh, interesting. I don't think I've ever heard that. That's really funny. Yeah, Spirit Phone's good too. Bootleg of it called Mouthcraft. I'll check that out. That sounds good. Oh, have to enable the word blows me. Hang on a second. Wonderwall is legit one of my favorite tracks. It's super well known. The original context still blows me away. Wonderwall, yeah, that was something that like my friends back in college would joke about to death. So I kind of like associate it with that. But like Wonderwall still just like that gag is fucking unbelievable. Yeah, I've heard it at this point. I have heard it more than the original song, like 100% more than the original song. I don't know. I must have enabled pussy at some point. SV Pussy 1. Okay, I have to stop the stream. It's going on too long. Okay, thank you all for coming. Yeah, I'm a pussy enabler. What of it? Thank you all for coming. I'm glad there's so many people who came by to see my silly stream. This VOD will be up here. I'll upload it to my YouTube soon in case you want to go back and watch anything you missed. It was good talking to you guys. Thanks for being so... thanks for having nice questions, I guess. Hang on. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for having interest in what I do. I appreciate that. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I really need to find a new editing video. I need to find a new ending video. I have a couple of ones that I'm like thinking about putting in that I just haven't yet. But that'd be too hard to do now, so I'm going to use my default one. Bye.